Let's go. We're live. Welcome to the Brazil Expat Journal, the BJ you can trust. My name's Phil, and I'm here with my buddy Pete, and we're gonna take you on a wild ride through South America's biggest country, Brazil. Crazy place. How you doing, Pete?
I am doing well under the circumstances. Very well.
You're doing very well. You know, guys. So am
Not
I.
bad.
I'm
I'm
actually,
relaxed.
yeah, I
The way
feel
to
much
be in
more
Brazil.
relaxed now. Yes.
Yes.
Just before we got on, I took a little shot of Kataya. I'll talk a little bit about what Kataya is in a little bit. But we got a packed show today because we will be talking about our July getaway, July vacation extravaganza. Because in case you don't know, July is a vacation month in Brazil. It's a winter vacation.
Everyone
Okay?
fucks off.
And everyone does fuck off. And if you are a teacher, you get a
You
month
have no
off.
students.
You have no students. Yeah, that's the truth too. So when I was teaching more private classes, so I had to like just kind of really penny pinch even more than I already do. I usually didn't travel too much in July, but it's when I would. If I was able to get away, I would manage to take like a weekend or something or 3-4 days and go off somewhere. But I haven't been able to do that in a few years. But then this year I was saving my pennies
Mhm.
for a while. And I'm a registered worker now, so I actually get paid for my vacation. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take me a
That's
little week
nice.
off and go somewhere. And that's what I did. So I left the city, and we'll talk a little bit about where I went. And Pete will talk a little bit about what he did. I stole a few of your Facebook pictures, Pete. So I'll surprise you with which ones.
Okay.
I won't tell you
Okay.
which
Yeah.
ones they are.
Just. I'm glad it's only the pictures, not the posts, because some of that stuff doesn't need to be talked about. But okay.
Yes, I agree. We don't want to scare off all of our audience, but but anyway, um, what do you call it? Yes, so we're going to talk about that. And for those that are going to hopefully come in a little bit later, if you want to tell us about some of your favorite Brazilian getaway spots, let us know. We want to know.
Yeah.
Like,
I could use
nothing
one for December.
exactly. And I don't want to know about, like, if I know the name, you're getting an X. You're getting a gong. It's like a gong show. I want to know about places like names I can't pronounce, cities I've never heard of. Tell us about your favorite little places to get away, because
Places you
that's
have
where
to
I
take 2 fucking buses to get to.
exactly like it was an adventure to get to where I got, but I got there.
Yeah.
So I want to know about these places. Don't come here talking about Salvador and Rio and Natal and any of that stuff. I want to, because that's how I find places, Pete. A lot through my students. Actually, I found this place
Yeah.
here through my students. Never heard of this place before. It was wonderful. So,
And you
um,
spent like a week there, didn't you?
yes, and I didn't want to leave. I
Wow.
didn't like it at first, but I did spend a whole week there, and I was gonna go to Curitiba afterwards, but then I was like, I need to be fiscally responsible, so I came back to
Yeah.
Sao Paulo and did some stuff over here. But before we get to it, guys, before we get to it, and of course, I always forget to do one last thing, and let me just click on something here. Oops, wrong person. Uh, I'm not gonna say who I'm looking up, but I'm looking up a friend. And why am I looking up a friend here on Facebook? Because, I hate to bring this back up, but I like to keep my word. And when Watif, our friend Watif, passed away, unfortunately, there was a a what do you call it? A memorial kind of video that a guy was doing for him, a kind of a popular YouTuber here in Brazil, ENTP Life. And I just happened to catch it. It popped up for whatever reason on my YouTube. So I was like, okay, let me listen in. And just as I tuned in, he was saying, "Oh, and Watif didn't get vaccinated."
which is
And
bullshit.
yeah, and I was like, wait a second, like I could have sworn a friend of mine, which I will remain nameless, had said that he did. So I asked her, because I always like to give my receipts, and then I was there on the chat saying, "No, I'm pretty sure he did," and blah blah blah. And then let me just double check with my friend, and then my friend, she actually had screenshots of when Watif saying, "Yes, I got vaccinated." So I unfortunately you can't send screenshots to YouTube, but I told this guy's audience, ENTP, that I would share it on the next broadcast, which was the last one we did before the vacation. But dude, we were so caught up in the moment of just celebrating Watif's life and everything, just getting on with the show. I totally forgot about it. So I just want to show you the screenshots, move on. I don't want to discuss, about vaccines, if they work, don't work, blah, blah, blah. But just there it is. Okay. The posting is no
So
longer
wow,
up.
he was an early one.
Yes, this was in
Yeah.
September 19th, 2020. It says I volunteered for the vaccine trials for
Oh no,
COVID
I
19.
remember this post actually.
Yes, held here. I'm sure this will shock some of you, but I wanted to let you know the vaccine is one that was created in Russia. I received the first shot yesterday at 4 p.m. And I wanted to let you all know that it's completely safe with no side effects whatsoever, and that I feel. And then the weird thing is that it goes into like some Russian or Greek, whatever letters at the end. Again, I don't want to discuss the veracity of it. It's no longer up. I don't know who took it down or why. I don't want to get into that. I just want to keep my word to anybody in I can never remember, ENTP Life's audience, because somebody actually commented that, Pete, in our last video. It's like, oh, what about, was Watif vaccinated or not? You're going to talk about that? So I wasn't running from it. It's just, I completely forgot about it. So there it is.
Yeah,
Make of it
and
what you will.
I will say I will say one thing about this too. Like, oh, he was vaccinated and he still died, but Latif had like really severe asthma problems. Like, the idea of vaccines as a bulletproof vest is it's not true, but they greatly increase your chances. They didn't work for Latif because he had a pretty severe problem already, but yeah, for most of you, it's better to have it than not have it.
And that's that. So let's get on with the rest of the show. So, guys, first, we want to talk
Oh
about what
yeah,
we did a little bit before vacation
we are
really
men of
got.
our word. We are men of our word.
Yes, before things really got rolling, we went to Canucks, uh, Poutiniere, okay,
It's
in
pronounced Canucks. Canucks.
Canucks Poutiniere in, what is that? It's in, I guess
Villa
it's
Mariana.
Villa Mariana
Yeah.
neighborhood, right? Actually, I should get the address there. I forgot to.
Yeah, in the general area of Villa Mariana. But yeah, near Itakara Park.
It's walking distance
Yeah,
from
nearest relative.
the what do you call it? From the metro, about 15-minute walk. Yeah, relatively close.
Paraiso. It's about
Rua
it's about 20
Tangara.
minutes.
Rua Tangara. I'm gonna
Yes.
put it in the comments here. So we had Carrie on our podcast maybe a month or so ago,
That
and
was longer than that. Like
hello,
April.
Monica Ferraria. I can never pronounce Monica's last name. Monica's a sweetheart. Um, there it is. Rua Tangara, 145, Villa Mariana, Sao Paulo. Okay, so check it out. So we had her on. She told us her whole story. Check out that podcast. Her name is Carrie Evans. And we said, hey, we're going to hit your spot up. And I had never eaten poutine, so I was just curious to eat it. Real cute spot. I forgot her girlfriend's name or her wife's name. Pete, maybe you remember.
Luana.
What
Luana.
is it?
Luana.
Luana. Okay. So Luana was
Yeah.
there to serve us. Cute spot. You got the little guy dressed up as the Mountie.
Yep.
You got some
And you
fried.
got a oh, you didn't get the moose head in the shot. I got a picture with the moose head in it.
Oh, you
That's
did? You should have sent it
yeah,
to me.
yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get the moose head, but there, yeah. So there's a bunch of Canadian style memorabilia in little things there that you can see. But the main thing there is the food. So watch this real quick. Whoops, let's turn on the sound. Oh no, this is the Coutiniere, is that how you pronounce it, Pete? There's Pete, by the way. Yeah, so we're having some chicken fingers. The poutine didn't come out yet. I like the sauce. So we had a bit of those chicken fingers. They were really delicious. I really liked them, and the
They were
sauce was
good.
good.
They were good. Yeah.
So you can have that as a starter, and she
Yeah.
makes
Although
things
I
from
don't know,
scratch.
I still say getting fries as a starter for poutine is a bit redundant.
I agree. After I got the poutine, I totally agree with you. Oh, there you go. So there's the map of Canada in the back. Maybe there's the moose. Moose was
Yeah.
back there, but there's the whole bar. Cozy little spot. There it
Yeah,
is.
a
There's the
lot
moose.
smaller than I expected because
Yeah,
Carrie,
me too.
when she was on the podcast, she said they do like a Sunday brunch, and I was like, how the fuck do you do a Sunday brunch in a place that small? Because I mean,
Well, I
like
mean,
brunch is like buffet time. Where do they
there were
put the
about
buffet?
there were probably like four tables inside, maybe 4 or 5, and maybe you can fit like another three outside. But you're right. I don't know where
That's
they
true.
would put the buffet.
Yeah,
Oh, but you know what? You fit things when you fit things in places when you're in the restaurant business. I guess you figure it
they
out.
are creative. They are creative. I mean, when Carrie was on the podcast, she was telling us how they used to go to Mercado and buy like the potatoes and then haul. That's a long trip too. I mean, that's not easy, and they're not big girls. They're small little girls hauling these like 20-kilo sacks of potatoes. So I mean, yeah, if they can do that, they can probably do anything.
I agree. I agree. Where is my? Did I got? I got. I think I got my order of things wrong here on my slides because I wanted to show. Oh, there it is. Oh, I wanted to show this video next. I'm skipping ahead, guys. But where's the video of the girl actually serving us the poutine? I know I had put that up here, but I can't find it now. Um, but yes, we got us a big old serving of poutine, and it came out tasting delicious, guys. So if you don't know, in case you don't know, I'm sure you guys do, poutine is just fries with gravy on top,
And cheese curds.
and well, a bit of everything. It's like insane.
Well, the everything is like whatever you want. That's the thing about poutine. The poutine is fries, gravy, and cheese curds, but you can add whatever you want to it. Like you can make it anything.
Wait a second. Oh, there it is. That's weird. This is the video I wanted to show. All right, check this out, Pete. Here we go. That's no, but internet, guys, or not internet, technology. Today, by the way, was my first day at school, and I wanted to kill myself. The first 20 minutes. So, because we have half of the kids are there and half of the kids are online. So we're trying to figure out how to manage this, how to get everybody on the same boat. I think I'm just going to add it to the stream. There you go. Let's see. There we go, guys. Poutine. Oh my God,
Oh
that's
my god, that's
huge.
so huge.
Pretty big.
We loved it. We will love it.
And mais um sorvete.
One more beer, guys. Learn that phrase if you come to Brazil. So we got some Canadian. That would be mais cerveja. Canadian poutine over here. Got some eggs. Well, you're better at the poutine stuff because I never had it before. What is on this?
Okay, well, poutine is basically French fries, gravy, and cheese curds.
All right.
But you can put anything in it you want.
No.
So we got let me consult the menu here.
No, we got this one, poutine chef médio.
Yeah, so it's like basically the chef's special,
Yeah.
which
What?
includes
French fries, cheese curds,
chicken and sausage. So recommended
and
for
beef.
vegetarians
And beef.
Yeah. Also onion and hot peppers,
Oh yeah.
and it also includes a fried egg on top.
And what you can see right there, we asked her to make it extra spicy for us. So thank you very much. And there's
Yes, that's a nice thing about poutine. It's fries, cheese curds, and gravy,
Chicken
but you
fingers.
can put any old thing on it you like, and it's still good. And it's gonna be heavy as fuck.
Yeah, I never had it. I'm gonna just take a little. Let me just see what this tastes like, because I've never had it before.
I can't believe you guys don't do fries and gravy, man.
that's
That's like a joke in Canada. Like how you go to America
That's
and
pretty
you ask
different.
for gravy on your fries, and they look at you like you're crazy.
That's pretty different. It's a different flavor that I wasn't expecting. Let me get a piece of the beef here. No, I've never had it. I never even heard of it in the U.S. But this reminds me of when I was in Germany in
like
the Donner
besides
box.
poutine, like one thing in Canada that's really common is just gravy on your French fries. Like that's normal.
Ooh, and she made it spicy. Nice. We asked for it to be American spicy or not Brazilian taste bud spicy, because Brazilians can't deal with too much hot sauce. So yes, nice and spicy. So we're gonna dig in and see you next time, guys. Come to the Canuck restaurant here, Thursdays and Wednesdays. No, cuartas. There's a cuarta. Tuesdays to Thursdays. There's a time from 5:30 to
10
Oh, I suck at these military times in Brazil. We're here on a Saturday. They're going to be open till 11. There's the phone number. And if you can't make it down here, they deliver. So we got some original beer. And there's more beer over there. All right. See you all later. Yeah, so that's us. That would be us digging in. So I definitely recommend it, guys. And one of these, as you can see, feeds two. So don't be scared by the price, because it's about like 50 reais, 40 to 50. Most of these.
I swear I could eat one of those by myself.
I
That's just 'cause
know.
I'm a
Yeah,
pig.
unless you eat and then you just slobber it all down. Oh, I thought we had somebody on. Yeah, so unless you're Pete and you slobber it all down, but definitely tasty. So if you're in Sao Paulo and you want to, well, it's kind of weird to say if you're in Sao Paulo and you want to have some Canadian food, but you never know. Go to Canucks. Poutiniere. Again. Canucks. Yeah, I keep saying Canucks. I've been in Brazil too long. I'm pronouncing my oohs.
I
my
know
T.
you got your
Yes.
U's all fucked up.
Yes. And that's Rua. See, because in here we say not Rawa. Rua, Tangará Street, 145, Vila Mariana. You can take an Uber down there if it's too long of a walk. It's kind of an uphill if you're going back, but you'll need it. You'll need that walk after you eat this shit. It's a lot. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's a nice downhill if you're coming off the. I guess we got off where at Ana Rosa.
No, Paraiso. No, you're right. It was Ana Rosa.
Yeah, we got that off at Ana Rosa, and then you just walk down that Conselheiro Street and just go down till it pretty much ends, and then you make a left and you just keep walking till you see Canucks, and then on the way back, I think we hit Paraíso.
We took a shortcut. Yeah.
Yeah, so we went up towards Paraíso. So good stuff, guys. Really good stuff. So that was like the beginning of our July extravaganza. And then I went all in on Canada, Pete, because I'm on Instagram and I'm always following the Sao Paulo, what do you call it? Instagram pages. By the way, follow me on Instagram. I'm at Sao Paulo Tours. And I saw this park that was called Parque Cidade de Toronto. And I was like, why are they taking pictures of like a Toronto park for a Sao Paulo page? But it ends up Sao Paulo has a park called City of Toronto Park.
Yeah, you know why? Because Toronto actually paid for that park. I was at a barbecue yesterday with a Canadian friend, and he told me about this park, and I mentioned that you went there, and he's like, yeah, no, Toronto actually, the city of Toronto paid for that park to be built.
Oh,
That's
shit.
why it's called Toronto Park, yeah.
Jeanette, one second. We got a message here from Janetta Smith. She said, I missed where to call, but I love Ilha Bella. But anyway, I did not know that. So,
Yeah, I didn't know it either.
um, but so, of course, I needed to find out about this park. So I took a nice Saturday run and I ran from my house all the way over there. Running is going to become a theme, guys, because it's going to be important when I get to Ilha Comprida because I almost got stranded on an island over there. So it's about like a 12, 13K run from here from my house to this place. And I loved it. When I got there, though, here's a pro tip for if you ever go there. You can see this picture here on the top left, on the left corner. When I went in, I was like, man, I made it all the way here. Let me take a little victory lap. So I went towards the right, where those buildings are, and then as soon as I turn the corner, right where these trees are back here, the park ends. And I'm like, you're kidding me? Like that's it? Like I ran all the way to this motherfucker. The park ends. So then I'm walking back all dejected. And as I'm walking back on the path, I realize, okay, it continues. The path continues. And to the left, that's where the glory is of this park. It's
Oh,
gorgeous.
okay.
There's a nice little trail. There's this nice little walking bridge over here. But there's even, there's, walking across the bridge there. Cute little girl. Look, you get some capivaras.
Oh, lovely.
And
Lovely
there's
capybaras.
another one hiding over there. A few more hiding over there. Yeah, so walking to the left and all these trees back here, there's a trail. I think I snatched some pictures from over there. But this is a really cute walking bridge too. And you see it's a nice family place too. Nice place to take your family. A lot of wild birds. Some I think there's a bunch of storks over here too that I saw.
Yeah. It's weird.
So
You don't see many birds in Sao Paulo. Birds are
no,
just
just the
not
pigeons.
urban
Yeah.
animals, really. Yeah.
In the parks you do. I went to Agua Branca Park too. I didn't take any pictures of that I want to show,
I
but I
was
went
at
to
Agua
Agua Branca.
Branca Park on Saturday, actually.
I love it there. Yeah, with all the chickens and I might share a couple pictures of that because it is a really nice park, nice place to go. Actually, I want to do a show just on best parks in São Paulo,
Parks.
other than like the main
Yeah.
ones, Ibirapuera. But yeah, so I was over there chilling. The thing with this, man, it's so annoying. It's difficult. There it is. Oh no, now. So there's little trail back there. Definitely enjoy it. But now let's get to the meat of this, okay? And if anybody that's on like Janelle and wants to chime in, all you do is say it in the comments, and I will send you the link to the
To the
broadcast studio. And you
podcast.
can come in and
Yeah.
talk to us. Okay, so if you want to chime in, if you want to say anything, let us know. And we would love to hear about some hidden places in Sao Paulo, not Sao Paulo, in Brazil that you've been to. And if you didn't get a chance to say it now, leave something in the comments. Okay. So I'm giving class to a student in, maybe, I don't know, May or something. And she was at her mom's house, and her mom lived in this city called Iguape. And then she showed me, oh, it's very nice here. It's very relaxed. It's chilled. It's next to this big river, this Iguape River. And I got interested. I love river towns. So, and then when I went to research about it, I found out that it's close to another city called Cananéia, which is the very first city of Brazil. It's an old historic city, obviously. And on paper, it's not the oldest city because Brazilians are great at paperwork. So they failed to register it as the first city. I think the official first city is Espírito Santo, another city on São Paulo's southern
Yeah.
coast.
That's
Not
actually where my
Espírito
old
Santo,
roommate
sorry,
is from.
São Vicente. São Vicente, my mistake. Espírito Santo is a state in the north, which I've been to. Very nice state. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Oh no, I was gonna say that's where Tiago's from, my old roommate.
Oh, yeah, no, he lives in Santos. and then you have Espírito Santos.
Uh,
You have Santos, which is a confusing. Santos is a city in the state of São Paulo on the southern
yeah,
coast.
it's a port city, like the
Yes, and
biggest
then you
port
have
in Latin
Espírito
America.
Santos is an actual state. It's a state
No,
like
but
a
he
little.
was from the Espirito Santos.
Oh, okay, because I know he lived in Santos for a while, so that's why I was confused. Because I
Yeah,
know he had
he's
moved
lived all
to
over the
Santos.
place.
Yeah, and then São Vicente is this little town which is supposedly the very first city of Brazil, but Cananéia is the actual one. Even according to the Portuguese, they just failed to register it as such. But anyway, I got more interested in Cananéia than Iguape. I'll be honest with you, because Iguape looked cute, but I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do here? Because it just looked like a bunch of nothing. Um, so I made up my mind after researching a little bit to go to Cananéia. Problem is, it was really difficult to get to Cananéia. There are no direct buses to Cananéia from Sao Paulo. So at the end of the day, they had told me that there's this thing called Long Island, Ilha Comprida, and it's a 70-kilometer long island, very kind of straight island from north to south, and but it's right next door to Cananéia, and they were not lying. Problem is, in my desperation to get to this region, and I couldn't find any bus that would take me there at a decent time because I didn't want to reserve
Arrive
anything
at three
ahead.
o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, like I didn't want to arrive at 9, 10 p.m. or 1 a.m. Actually, there was a guy leaving from Butantan to Ilha Comprida, but he was going to get there like 1, 2 in the morning because I just wanted to show up, Pete, and,
Yeah,
just find the
do
place.
your
I don't,
shit. Do your shit.
yeah. But that's hard to do at night. I wanted to get there, 1 p.m., 2 p.m. So then I found a bus that went to Ilha Comprida. But, because the genius that I am, I forgot that it's called Long fucking Island. So I ended up on the north point of this island, which is about 50 kilometers away from the city of Cananéia. But it ends up, it's right next door to the city of Iguape. But it turns out it was a very fortuitous mistake because I absolutely fell in love with the city of Iguape. It's a little river village, also very old town. It's about I think they said it's the third or fourth oldest town. Very friendly people, as you can see here in this picture. And by the way, there's my Instagram. I'm doing a little bit of propaganda. Um, it's got a lot of green. There's actually a trail that goes through these mountains over here, which I plan on taking. I plan on going back to Iguape just to take this trail. There's some a lot of drinks there, which we'll be talking about a little bit later. I went to this nice bar here, and the guy was very friendly. He sold me a liqueur from Iguape. Iguape doesn't have its own distillery, but they do make a liquor, which is the ones up here, that these little bottles. Ilha Comprida, which is the next city over, they have their own cachaça, which is called Cataya, which I'm drinking right now, in fact, and it's very delicious. And look at how cute this is. This is the historic downtown. Super safe. That's one thing, man. I mean, we were just talking about how we're feeling good, but I will not lie to you. I was not feeling good the first couple days back in Sao Paulo because, good Lord, man, it's just
No,
like the
no.
noise, pollution, the cars, the beeping, the danger. You can't
Uh,
walk. Good
it's
Lord.
not it's not that for me. It's that now, because I mean, we normally talk about news in Sao Paulo, and the vaccine rollout has actually been really effective. Like 90% of people in Sao Paulo have at least had their first shot. But the
Hmm.
problem with that is things are returning to normal, and normal is dangerous as fuck.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like I'm almost ready to sign up for 2 more years of pandemic because I've been going out this whole past year, but it's been chill. Like there's not a lot of people on the streets. You don't feel threatened. But
Hmm.
now that everybody is out there again, it's like you need eyes in the back of your head again.
I feel you. That's exactly how I felt when I came back. And it's such a juxtaposition because this city, good Lord, look, it's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Like you can walk around with your cell phone. You can see I borrowed a bike. I met somebody down there who let me borrow his bike. Um, I climbed up to the top of this mountain in the middle of the night with this friend of mine whose face I can't show because he's an ex-con. No, it's not a joke, by the way. He really wasn't, but he's getting his life back together. But it was really nice. He showed me around the city. Real nice guy. Um, and then we had nothing to do one night, so we're like, "Oh, let's go to Iguapi." And then we rode bikes across the bridge. And then he was like, "Oh, let's climb up the mountain." I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" It was hard as hell. It's a very inclined mountain, but we made it up there and it was worth it because it almost felt like I was in the Brazilian Paris there with the city of lights in the background. Very cute. Although this is it during the day. So this is the Iguapi River, very gorgeous river. A lot of Masons in this town. And so much so that they have the nice little pyramid there, but they don't hide the fact that it's a Masonic town. Um, there's another neighborhood on the other side of the river called Rocio, which folks told me I should really go there because I would really dig it. I did not have enough time to go, but I definitely want to chill in Rocio. Great seafood. I'm not a big fan of seafood, but the food was delicious in Iguapi. And there it
Okay.
is. There's Iguapi from up top, and there's a little Christ statue up there. I wasn't expecting that. I climbed up this hill and I see white Jesus looking down on me.
What were you
But
paying for the seafood there?
yeah,
What were the prices like for the seafood?
dude, really good. It was. I think for that plate there, I paid 20 something, 20 like whatever, like Sao
Oh,
Paulo regular.
damn, that's good. That's really
Yeah,
good. That's a good sized chunk of fish.
it was, and it was really delicious. Tasted really fresh. I think this was like 25, 26. It was actually a really decent price. Uh, and it was probably the best dish out of all the places that I went. Because I did end up in Cananea. We'll talk about that in a bit. And I was in Ilha Comprida. So I kept driving over this bridge to get to Cananea. Let me see, what is this? I think this is just the river here. Yeah, so, kind of tranquil.
This part right here to fish.
Yeah, a lot of fishermen were on this river.
And I fell in love with this place. I will definitely be coming back. Gorgeous, gorgeous little city. The downtown is gorgeous. The food was really good. People are more or less polite. They're a little, they're a little wary. But that's interior. People from the countryside are a little bit like that. And that's it.
That's it. Yeah. So I was just chilling on the river edge there. How do
I'm
I
at
flip to the next slide? What is this? I have no idea what this is. Oh, that's getting into my. Oh, we'll talk about Cananea in a second. So, definitely recommend Iguapi, guys. If you want to just take like a weekend getaway, now because of the pandemic, a lot of things are closed, obviously, but it was starting to get back into the hustle and bustle. The evening there was wonderful in the little historic downtown, a bunch of pizzerias and barbecue houses and folks on the street, kids riding their bikes, and there's a big main church in the center of town, like most of these old cities have the main, the matriz, they call it here in Portuguese, the main churches. And it was totally safe, like little kids, like 4 or 5 year old just playing in a little plaza, like at 8, 9, 10 at night. I was like, oh god, this is like the life that I want to be living, just like chilling here. You're not having to worry about if somebody's gonna jack me. So I definitely fell in love with the place. But I did want to go to Cananea, at least see it, because that was the original plan. So this is the deal, Pete. Forget public transport in this place. Okay, public
Hmm.
transport does not exist in these little interior cities. So there was this one bus. It was actually a school bus, and it would leave the city like 3 times a day. So I got the early bus, like 7 o'clock. So this is the bus right here, by the way. I'm not gonna turn on the sound because it's loud as fuck. Old rickety bus, and it actually goes
Yeah,
over the bridge. Yeah, look at the sun.
that's like warm.
Yeah. So Old rickety bus takes us over to a city called Pedrinha. In fact, I made a mistake here. This is actually the second bus. So there's a bus that takes us to a town called Pedrinha, which translates to Little Rocks. And literally, that's all there's there. There's like nothing. I don't know how people survive places.
Little rocks.
And then, so I get off the bus, and everybody asks the most important question: when does the next bus leave to go back home from here? And the guy says, "Oh, 5:15." So we're like, "Good. That gives me more than enough time to chill in Cananea till like 3, 4 o'clock. Get back to my north end of Long Island." So everything's cool, right? And I get to Long Island. I'll show you. It's fucking gorgeous. Well, not Long Island, Cananea. You need to take a ferry boat to get across. So that's the ferry boat ride across to Ilha Comprida. From Ilha Comprida to Cananea, and there's the look at that. It's fucking paradisic. It's very
Yeah, I
gorgeous.
know. That's beautiful.
And this right here is the place, though. Getting to
This
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 Ilha
is
do Cardoso.
considered the Atlantic coast too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like 2 hours from Sao Paulo, this place. So this Ilha do Cardoso is the spot, though. And I was trying to get a boat ride over there. The problem is the boat rides, the guy only takes 4 people, if there's 4 people on the boat. And everybody wants to stay till about 5 or so. And I was like, shit, I don't want to stay till 5 because I want to get back. I don't want to
Yeah,
stay.
because the bus leaves at 5:15.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I chilled out here for a little bit, smoked a little green with somebody that I met on the street. um, wait up. Oh, God, this is so frustrating. How do I do this? Oh, there it is. Pause this. But the videos, it's a pain in the ass. It's changed to the next slide. Okay, so there's a little bit of the city. So the problem was, I liked Cananea, I really did, but it wasn't like a place that I saw myself hanging out in and staying overnight. Because that was the other plan. I was like, okay,
Right.
if I like the city, okay, I'll pay like $100 and just stay in a little hotel posada, whatever. But you could tell the city is really just based on this tourism, and the tourism is like 3 blocks worth of city, which is the old town. And as soon as you
Right.
get out of that, you get this. Look, it looks like something out of Mad Max with this couch on the thing here.
Yeah.
Uh, I wasn't sure if the bars were going to open at night. I mean, this looked like a nice place, the Viking Emporium. Okay, little
Hmm.
lighthouse, but there wasn't really much, and there were a few sketchy characters in this city. Um, it's kind of cute over here, whatever. But like this, dude, I see this nice little alleyway, so I'm like, oh God, I need to film this. So I walk down, and right when we get to the dock, there's like 4 or 5 dudes. They look at me. They look like they're the Panamea's
Yeah.
finest
Run
citizens.
away. Run away.
Hey, Daniel, what's up, Daniel? Daniel, by the way, thanks for chiming in. It is a beautiful coast. If anybody that's listening, I know sometimes you guys come in a little bit late. If anybody's listening and wants to tell us about a nice getaway spot, it would be great if it were someplace we haven't heard of. Let us know. We'll send you the link to the broadcast studio right here in the chat. Come in and it's like a call in show, guys. So feel free. Okay. So I'm walking down, yeah, and dude, I just pretended I didn't see them because I had the camera right on them. They're all smoking something.
Oh my
And
God.
I just turned over to
You
the other side. I posted
you
that
were
video on
asking for it. You were asking for it.
yeah, and I was like, yeah, and there was something about them because Ilha Comprida and Iguape also, I mean, every place has their more moleques, let's say, they're the young kids, whatever, doing shit. But they had like a more positive vibe where I was, so much so that I told you I befriended a guy who just got out of jail. He was working at a kiosk, and he was there for 2 months. But he was a really nice dude. Like we went out almost every night, drank, chilled out, real cool dude. These guys, I felt a weird vibe about the way they looked at me, and I really stood out when I went there. Like I really looked like a tourist because I
Did they
got there
play
early in the
banjos?
morning, and I had like this coat on because it was cold as hell. Like it was freezing in the morning.
Yeah, this last month has been brutal.
Yeah, like I felt like a spotlight was on me here, not as
Yeah.
much in Ilha Comprida where I was staying in Iguape. So as
But
I'm
they
walking,
didn't play banjos, though, right?
what?
They didn't play banjos.
They did not play banjos, no,
Okay.
but
Okay.
they just had this evil look on their face of like this guy looks like a tourist and he looks like he's alone. Like it
Yeah,
looked
and
like
he
I
looks
was.
like he has money.
Yes, it looked like that was tattooed on my face. So
Yeah.
I went to eat at the restaurant. As I'm walking around the dock, I'm like, let me get a feel for the people here, and especially these kind of the finest citizens. So I start talking to this kid. He's like about 20 something. He's smoking some weed. So I start chatting with him. I'm like, oh, can I take a toke? So I toke a little bit with him, and then he starts telling me about, yeah, my uncle just got killed by the police. He was because he was like robbing a bunch of houses, and he killed such and I'm like, good lord, man. I'm not sure.
I know.
Yeah, like
I've
I'm
had
not
those
sure I'm feeling this
experiences.
place because the cultural downtown is literally 2 blocks. Like I walked around the cultural downtown, the historic downtown, 3 times, maybe four, in the space of 30 minutes. And then after you leave, it's like their version of favela, like a block over.
Oh
And I'm
my
like, I'm
god.
not sure I want to chill here at night.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going to be open, if I can go to a cool bar or not.
Right.
So what did I do? I made a fateful decision. I went to a little store, bought me some skimpy little shorts, and they were really skimpy because they were the cheapest ones. So they were like 80s shorts.
You
Um,
sassy fuck you.
I know it's like 80s Bjorn Borg style shorts, a little t-shirt. And I said, I'm gonna get the next ferry back over to Ilha Comprida, the south point of the island, and I'm gonna run from the ferry point over to the south, where shit is supposed to be, where there might be some restaurants or something to do. It's about 4 kilometers, get fit. So I run. Oh, there's a little bit of my clothes there. So I run to this other end of the island. Dude, imagine nothing. That's what there was, as you can see in the pictures. There was nothing there. Okay. But the
Yeah.
south point of the island is these mountains. So there's more to this story. Because you can see I'm not at those mountains. So when I get there, I'm hungry because I bought some shrimp at the place, but it was expensive and it wasn't that. I mean, it was decent. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm hungry. There's no place to eat here. Where all the bars are and stuff is 6 kilometers further south. I don't feel like walking all the way there to just come all the way back in case there's nothing cool to do. There's no place to sleep if I want to chill out overnight. So I'm going to take the bus back to Pedrinhas, Little Rocks. So I asked this lady who just happened to be there. I don't know who the fuck she was, but because there wasn't even an information center. I went to the information center. It was like all shut down. So she tells me, okay, yeah, you just missed the bus. The next bus comes at 6. Now, I'm very, very upfront with everybody about my math skills. They're not that great. I'm a fucking English. But 5:15 and 6 p.m. didn't match. So I
Right.
said to myself, I'm kind of fucked because this bus is leaving at 6. Is there like a light bus in Pedrinhas? And how long do I have to wait in the middle of the fucking rocks in the middle of the
Oh
night
no.
for the next bus? So that's when I made the fateful decision. About 2:30 p.m., I said to myself, I've run 20 kilometers before from my house to Cochia. Just a couple weeks ago, I ran about 13 kilometers from my house to this city of Toronto Park. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I can make it 16 kilometers from the southern tip of this island to this little rocks. And that's exactly what I did. I just started running. And
Good lord.
yes, because, dude, I wasn't going to get stuck there. And then I figured I got to get there before 5. It's like 2:30. I can do it. Even if I walk some of it,
Oh my god.
um, I'll be able to make it. And it's flat. It's absolutely flat. The only thing that
I've
worried me was that
yeah.
I was feeling a little bit hungry. I didn't want to faint because, as you can see, there's like absolutely nothing there. But I made it. Like I started out in those mountains and I just ran for 16 kilometers. You see
Oh my
Pedrinhas
god.
right there, Cananeo on the other side. Crossed a bunch of little rivers over here. So sometimes I had to stop, take my shoes off to cross the little rivers that the ocean would make there. But as you can see, there's proof right there. I made it to 16
I
kilometers to get to the Bukidnon Sul
I
from.
have actually attempted to do that in Asia, both in Thailand and China, but thank God, like both times, passing motorists stopped me and offered me a ride, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Actually, I was fortunate because I was going actually inland through a dirt road because I was like, the bus came on a dirt road, and then I stopped at this place that had some houses, and I was, I had the wherewithal to ask the guy, not the wherewithal, I was smart enough to ask the guy, hey, how far is it to Pedrinhas? Can I just take this road? And he was like, don't take this road, dude, because it's really windy. And there was no internet signal. That's the thing. There was no internet signal, so I had no Google Maps, no nothing. He's like, no, just go through the beach. It's a straight line. So I'm glad I stopped there to ask him. And then I saw like just the next right would get me on the beach, which is probably what, because the bus did go through the beach for a big chunk. So it probably had turned on that road to get onto the dirt road. Because if had I taken the road, yeah, especially when it got dark, it probably would have been a little bit dangerous. The beach wasn't dangerous at all, as far as I wasn't worried about getting mugged or getting raped or whatever, because it was deserted. Every couple kilometers, you'd see like one little house, or I think I saw somebody in their car just kind of chilling out in the middle of nowhere. Um, but I was just worried about passing out because I have passed out before, and because I hadn't eaten. So I just went at a steady pace and I made it, and I got back to my part of Ilha Comprida about, 8 p.m. because I got there like 4:58 and then the bus arrived, 10 minutes later. I was like, woohoo. So, recommendation for Cananea, because it seems like I gave it a bad rap. It's gorgeous, guys, but go with a group of friends. It's not a good go alone city. I didn't feel not like Iguape. I think Iguape you can go by yourself and have a good time. Ilha Comprida on the north side also. Cananea, nah. I think it's a city you should go with a group of friends. Get a little posada, stay the night, go to that Ilha do Cardoso, which well, I think it was in the video, but it's that big island on right next to Cananea. Take a boat ride there, take a tour. It's that type of city. It's the type of city you go, take the tour, eat at a decent seafood restaurant, but not like a chill out city. I didn't feel that vibe. So I'm not giving it negative reviews, but it just wasn't for me based on what type of trip I was taking. But
Right.
then I'm back in Ilha Comprida. And here's a little bit of Ilha Comprida. This is the main place that I stayed where I got the posada. It was just across, it was like 5 kilometers across the bridge in Iguape. I really love this place. It's the Marina, the Marine. And it's just a lookout station, over, you can look out over into the lake, or not the lake, the river. Had the best shrimp. Now, this shrimp, Pete, this knocked me out.
That
Um,
looks amazing. That looks
it
amazing.
was. And I didn't even share a picture of the shrimp from Cananea. I didn't think it was that good. It was overly expensive and not that good. Now, this shit, I paid 50 reais for, but it was worth every bit of those 50 reais.
That
And when it
looks
was
like
made from
50 reais
an
worth.
old lady, from Bahia, Pete. I don't know if you know about old ladies from Bahia, but that's like getting some southern food from an old black lady who's just
Yeah,
like
yeah, it's like Southern Fried Chicken or something like that.
yes, and it's like southern fried chicken, but made by
With
somebody's
grits. With
old
grits.
black grandma. You know
Yeah,
it's gonna come out
exactly.
good.
Exactly.
Yes, so you know it's gonna come out good. So that's what it was. It was like this old black lady from Bahia made this, and I was like, dude, I had my plans for this day. My plan was actually to go back to Iguape. I fell in love with the city to visit this other park, but I, what do you call it? It knocked me out. It just knocked me out. I ate it and I was done, dude. I was absolutely done. It was so fucking good. I never had anything that good before, as far as seafood. And so I slept. Like after I ate this lunch, it was like 1 o'clock. I slept till like 4, and I was out. So that was good. And it didn't help that she was giving me free caipirinhas, but she also made me a batida. There's the little posada where I stayed, Ilha's Hotel, so I recommend that. And then the next day, or I think it was Sunday, I decided to go eat at this other place that I had seen, and I promised the guy I would come back. And here they
Wow,
made
I cannot possibly be misreading what is on top of that. That's
oh no,
very phallic.
it's a sausage. It's a sausage.
Yeah, I
Yes.
know, I know, I know. But it looks like the most well hung person in the world just lost their greatest
uh,
possession.
but dude, this the shrimp knocked me out the first day. This food knocked me out the second day, or whenever the day is. Because this one knocked me out from about 2 p.m. until 6. It was so damn good, and it's a food called baião de dois. It's probably my second favorite dish in Brazil, behind the muqueca. And basically, it's rice and beans and a whole lot of pork shit, you know. And I'm not good at eating
Yeah,
pork. I don't like to eat pork that much, but every once in a while, I'll make an exception. They put some cheese on top. Dude, if you ever get a chance to eat this, you'll fall in love. Baião de dois is
I don't know, man. I'm pretty fucking sick of rice and beans.
yeah,
I'm
but
pretty much done with it.
dude, it's not your regular beans. It's not like
Okay.
the I don't know what beans they use. It just it tastes like I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like a jambalaya. It's like, well, jambalaya has many.
Okay. Well, that's
It,
good.
it's it's just a mix of all this stuff together that you're not tasting it like rice and beans, you know, because they melt the cheese on top, almost like your poutine. It's like the Brazilian poutine. You know, they got bacon bits and a lot of spices and the sausage, as you can see there. Dude, trust me on this one.
All
Better than
right.
feijoada. Better than feijoada. Get a
Okay.
good baião de dois. And actually, I should take you one time to the center of northeastern culture in Zona Norte and have one there because they make a very good one over there. There's the old guy that made it. He's very nice guy. Uh, Ate the best fios of my life at this place here, which is run by Neji. Nice lady from Zona Leste of São Paulo. The other guy's from Rio Grande da Serra, which is a city that's kind of south of us. Um, Real nice lady. Hung out here like 2, 3 times. Sang some karaoke. As you can see here, this lady is fucking insane. I didn't even care to share the video, but there was this insane lady over there. It was wild time. I had a really good time. Look at her. She's like behind me. It's like she was drunk as fuck. I
Yeah.
identified with the northern tip of Ilha Comprida. I had a good time. It's where all the fucked up people are, all the weirdos. I dug it. I didn't like it at first. There's another guy I met there from Capão Redondo, so another guy from São Paulo. There's the lady that made the shrimp. She's from Itapevi, which is city kind of south of us over here, or I guess it would be west of us over here. So a lot of nice folks. And even I forgot to share one last thing here. I'm gonna that I think deserves a little bit of love because these people were so nice. Um, and I forgot to put it on my little slideshow. These guys, because I went to this park that I meant to go the day before, but I got knocked out by the shrimp. So then I went on Sunday, and it's this really nice park there called Parque da Fonte, and people actually swim in this water, and it's the fountain park. It's kind of like Catholic or whatever, but and then there's these people that actually live in a house back here, and they were having a churrasco. So then I go
Oh,
up to them, and
nice.
yeah, and I just asked them, "Hey, where can I find a place to eat around here?" And they're like, "Oh
And
man,
they
on a
invited you
Sunday."
for lunch.
Yeah, they invited me for lunch. They're like, "On a
Of course they
Sunday, you're not
did. Of
finding any
course they
place."
did.
Yes. So then I had lunch with them, and this guy was like the dad. I think that's his son, little daughter. He had another little son. These are two of his friends, and we just ate and chilled. That's his wife over there. We talked for about like an hour. Real nice people. They raise chickens and they just live inside the park. I'm like, what a life. Um, And this is the trail that I said that leads up. He told me, yeah, there's this trail that leads up to this mountain that leads all the way up to that Christ statue on the other side. So, oh, I played soccer over there. These little kids caught a bird. I'm like, oh my God, I'm living like in Mayberry, you know?
Yeah.
It was fucking nice. So Iguapi, had this is at night, had a nice little burger there in Iguapi. Oh, and there's just something else that I thought was really cool. I met a local artist there. So this is all his artisanal work that he does. All this stuff is his. There he is right there. Real cool artist. Actually, his friend, this guy here, is the one that I borrowed the bike from. So real good times in Ilha Comprida, Iguapi. And as you can see, I'm taking pictures in the middle of the night. Super safe, super chilled uh, place to go. And then that leads us to look at this. It's open from 6 o'clock to the last client. That's a place you want to go.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, some
That's some
whiskey. There's
China
my
shit
friend
right
there,
there.
the ex-con.
Oh,
um,
nice.
some nice. And by the way, he would tell everybody this, so I guess I'm not speaking out of turn there. But going up there, so I don't want to re-show everything. But that leads us to, hey, Travelmatic, what's up, sir? How you doing? Um, so that leads us to the last little bit here, which is booze, man. Because whenever I go to a little city, I always try to find what is the booze from that city. And I found usually cachaças. Like I like to not beers or anything. I want to get their distilled, their spirits. What's the local spirit? And the local spirit in Ilha Comprida is this thing called cataya. Now, cataya is famous here in Brazil as being the wonder leaf because it's supposed to cure everything. It's like the cure-all. They say it's great for if you have intestinal problems, digestional problems, heart problems, blood pressure, high this, high that. But I think it was in the 80s, this guy said, hey, let me put some cataya leaves in my cachaça. And thus the cataya cachaça was born. Dude, the lady Neji there, the blonde lady, she's the one that let me try some of it because I asked her, what's the local cachaça? It was super sweet. And I was like, oh, this is one of those dangerous cachaças that are so sweet, because you start drinking, you don't realize you're getting drunk. So then she told me, go to this guy, tell him it's from his future wife, and he's going to give you a discount. So that's what I did. Gave me a discount on the bottle. And he tells me, no, take this one. It's darker. It's going to taste better. So, so I get home. I take a sip of this thing. I thought I was going to die. I was like, this is not the same shit that Neji gave. This shit is strong.
Yeah.
It's like just root. Think of like a tea made of like the root of something, like real strong. But I'm kind of getting used to it though. I think a lot of times too, if you like to drink spirits, the first gulp is always, when you just open the bottle, the first one is always the strongest, and then it seems like I don't know, it mixes better towards the bottom. So it's bad. It was bad at first, but I kind of get used to it, and I put a little bit of honey in it just to make it a little bit more palatable. But really love it. I got my bottle here of Cataya next to me tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Iguapi, and in Iguapi, they said we don't have a distillery here. And actually we sell, was that picture I showed with the guy with all the bottles. We do sell the Cataya. I said, I already got that. Give me something from Iguapi. So we said they make a little liqueur. I haven't tried it yet. I'm not a huge fan of liqueur, but we'll see. When the right time comes, I will open it and try it. And the bottle's nice. It was expensive though. It was a little more expensive than I wanted it to be. So, and of course, Ilha Comprida has a beach. I'm not a beach person, so here's me on the
I
beach.
love beaches. I love beaches. But this is not a month to be on the beach though.
Yeah, but during the day it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But you're right. But that's
the
why I
last 3
like
days,
going,
so-
Pete. I like going off season. I don't want to deal with all these people on the beach, So here, this dude, he took me to the northern point, the northern point of the island, and there were a bunch of dunes up there. It was really gorgeous. Actually, um, yeah, I forgot to put some pictures of these dunes. Real nice dunes all the way in the northern point of the island, and then it's where the island kind of it's flanked. You know, the river's on one side, the ocean's on the next, uh, and it was really gorgeous. You know, he said it's just kind of dangerous there at night. A few people, he's like, yeah, a few guys got shot here a few years back. And I was like, okay, you know, he's like, just don't come here at night. But during the day, it was nice. So we went to this northern tip of the island and checked that out. And then on the way back, you know, we were riding the bikes back down on the coast, you know, back to where we were. And it was real fun. I had fun riding my bike down the beach. And here's a nice, you know, beautiful coast, gorgeous coast, you know. So it's definitely, if anybody here has lived in Brazil for a while, especially Sao Paulo, you'll know that the southern coast of Sao Paulo doesn't get a lot of love. Southern coast of Sao Paulo is considered like the poor people's beaches and stuff like that. There's a little bit of
Yeah.
class war when it comes to beaches because
Yes.
it's Brazil, of course.
Well,
There's no
also because the southern coast of Brazil is the port terminal. It's like industrial.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So these beaches don't get a lot of love, and but they are gorgeous. Some of these beaches are very gorgeous, and a lot of because they're not as well frequented as the northern coast beaches, so they tend to stay a little bit more pristine. You know, and this beach was very clean, white sands. But my tip, if you're going to the southern coast beaches, I've been to Peruíbe too, which is a very nice beach town, famous for UFO activity. Um, go for oh, Travelmatic. I'm sorry, I didn't see your comment there. Um, it does not have a cinnamon taste. It's just got a amargo taste, a bitter taste. It's like drinking a root of something. It's like just this leafy. I don't know how to describe it. It definitely tastes like cachaça, but it's cachaça with this little extra, like your mama made you some herbal tea to make you feel better when you got sick, you know?
That
So
sounds good.
actually it is. You get used to the flavor. In the beginning, next when you come here, Pete, because I promise you, Pete, that I'm gonna finish watching my last two Stanley Kubrick movies. I don't know what happened. I just stopped. I think that movie just knocked. Speaking of getting,
Barry Lyndon's a bit of a drain.
yeah, it just drained the
It's a
life
good
out of
movie.
me.
It's a good movie, but
It is. It was good, but it just
it
drained the
it
fuck out
takes a
of me.
lot of your energy.
And the last two is one that I've seen about three times already before, which is Eyes Wide Shut. I already know I love it. I kind of already know in my head where I'm going to rank it. And then Full Metal Jacket, which I've never seen. So I'm definitely
That's the
looking
one you got to watch.
forward to watching it. So when you come here and we do a live cast of the Stanley Kubrick movies, there will be some left because I can't drink all those by myself. Mm. Um, but Pete, if you see somebody in the comments there, let me know because sometimes I'm off the screen and I can't see if somebody's commenting.
I am
Uh,
also sometimes off the screen. I
what
tell
happened?
them all that. Good Phil sounds like a hell of a trip. I think that's
Uh,
Vladimir.
is it Vladimir?
Yeah, I think so. He's applying for his visa.
Yes. Oh, we can't wait to have Vladimir here in Sao Paulo. He seems like a really cool dude.
He
Uh,
does. He does. It reminds me of me when I was so excited to get my Brazilian visa, and now I'm just like, what the fuck was I thinking?
what did you do with your life? So just because we
Yeah.
mentioned it, guys, just because we had mentioned it, this is Agua Blanca Park, which I did visit, and it's a nice park because you get chickens and you get
Yeah,
birds,
I was there on
and
Saturday.
it's so quiet, you know.
Yeah, a
And
lot of
look,
families too. Like it's easy living in Sao Paulo to think that everybody is just a fucking freak. But Agua Branca Park, you see like all these nice, normal families, and it
exactly.
actually kind of reinstills your faith in humanity almost.
No, it does. And what I like about it is like, look at this picture. It's like you would never think this is inside one of the, if not the most massive concrete jungle, at least down here in South America. It's like
Yeah.
it's because it's incredible. If you walk deep enough into this park, and it's not a huge park, you can't
No.
really hear the traffic. It's like you forget that you're in the middle of like Sao Paulo, and it's not a really
Yeah.
big park. And I think it's the yellows and like there's these dull colors that
And
just
they have a
calms
lot
you.
of theme days too. Like they
Mhm.
actually put on events. Like today is Pirate Day. Come to Agua
Yes.
Branca dressed as a pirate.
Yes. No, and they have on the weekends they have these really really good what do you call them, Pete? The what's the word I'm looking for? Fairs. They either book
Yeah,
fair or
yeah.
food fair or Um, so no, this is a good place to chill.
And
Let me see if
and
I
that
have.
whole street is like a really nice stretch of landscape. It's like basically from Agua Branca Park to Allianz Park. What's the name of the road? It's not Francisco Morado. That's the one in
It's Matarazzo, I think. Something.
Matarazzo,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that whole road is really nice. There's like a lot of restaurants with like ridiculously cheap food and booze.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's this one place. It's one block from the park. They have all you can eat buffet until 4 p.m. for like 12 reais. It's
Wow.
yeah, it's ridiculously cheap. Maybe not worth going halfway across the city
Yeah.
for, but if you're there already, then yeah,
Hmm.
fuck, it's good vittles.
This is back maybe 3, 4 years ago. These pictures. So you get a little bit more of the people that are there. Yeah, definitely a nice part of the city. I couldn't live there because everything's so spaced out, and it's like Pete said, it's nice, but getting there isn't always the easiest thing. But you can see it's a gorgeous, gorgeous little place to chill. That's my favorite place there with those with these kind of gazebo bungalows, whatever you want to call it. I think it's a cool little structure. And yeah, again, this is like in the middle of a really busy avenue. Like it's next to a super busy avenue. And when you're
Yeah,
in
it's
here,
on the same avenue as like Brazil's number one soccer team plays on. So
yes,
yeah, it's not exactly quiet.
yeah, but yet when you get down there, you're just like, oh my
Yeah,
God, it's like you lose yourself. So
yeah,
definitely recommend it.
calm blue ocean.
Mm-hmm. I definitely recommend it. Let's see. Thanks to you guys that are tuning in. If you have any tips, any places that you want to recommend, little secret getaways, feel free to share in the comments. And if you want to join us on the podcast and talk about it, we would love to have you on. Like right now, we can send you a link. It's not that difficult. Okay. But let's get to it because it's getting late. And let me see. Let me flip over here.
Yeah,
Today
I'm
is
still
slideshow
basically
central.
unemployed, so I have nothing to do tomorrow.
Oh, I got a packed thing. So back to Sao Paulo, like I was telling Pete and you guys, I went into paranoia mode. I was like, "What the fuck is this place? Why did I choose to live here?" Because you're going from peaceful rivers and hanging out at night with nice people, not worried about getting robbed or jacked or anything. And then I got here like 5 p.m. and I'm already like I was doing like Linda Blair, Exorcist
Yeah,
360,
yeah,
and I was like, what the fuck, And then a friend of my little brother, he got mugged by like 6 people downtown because apparently now they have these gangs that are mugging people downtown in broad daylight. It's like
yeah.
it's the crackheads have joined with the transvestites and have joined with like the drug dealers, and they're all like mugging people. It's crazy.
Yeah,
So,
well, no, that happens because the one-on-one approach appears to have worn off. Like people
mhm,
are immune to it. It's like one dude comes up to you and asks for your money. You tell him to go fuck himself, and
yes,
what's he gonna do? Fight you? So yeah, when six people do it, it's a lot more persuasive.
Exactly, and they attack. Like was watching videos. Like one guy will distract you, and then somebody comes from behind and does like a chokehold. Oh, maybe in the
Yeah,
next podcast, I'll show you some of these videos, man. They're scary.
yeah,
Speaking of next podcast, we might be doing a Brazilian music special, Pete. I hope it works out with my friend Elisa and my friend Lee and you. So think of your top five, Pete, because I know you're a fan of Brazilian music, especially rock music. Your five
yeah.
essential Brazilian albums. And if you haven't listened to
Albums.
the whole
That's
albums,
easy.
think of
That's
like
easy. Yeah.
bands or something or tracks. But that's
Yeah,
where we're
no,
going.
albums is easy.
Okay, then there you go. So think about it. Hopefully we'll have this happen not next week, but the week after. Hey, Travelmatic, if you want to come in and talk about this, and talk about Fraudes de Bahia, all you got to do is click on this pretty little link right here that I'm about to send in the comment section. Okay, and we'll put you in.
Yeah.
We'll put you on the
Well, the
podcast.
problem is I don't think he's actually been here yet. He's looking forward
What
to it.
about he says? Dos frades in Bahia. So no, I think you're confusing. Travelmatic, I think, is somebody else. I'm pretty sure it's somebody else. Because he was on our podcast where he was like listening in, like way back when, even before Vladimir. But yeah, feel free, okay, and I've seen some of this stuff on his channel, so it's somebody else. So feel free to chime in. We'll put you in, and you can hang with us for a little bit. Um, these street fights, by the way, they're not street fights, dude. They're muggings. They're pretty scary.
Yeah, yeah,
It's downtown Sao Paulo, around the
yeah.
República. Well, República
Well,
mainly, but that whole region there, which is
yeah.
already
My,
scary. I remember when I first got to Brazil, I was like, you had to be careful walking there, but it got a little
yeah.
better. It got a phase where I felt okay walking around 9, 10
You
p.m.
got to stay off the side streets. That's the thing.
Exactly,
Like
but sometimes you
when you
can't
go
get
down those
to where you
darkened
need to
side
go
streets. I
without the side
know.
streets. That's the problem.
I know. I was dating this girl who always used to insist on going up Augusta to Paulista, and I was like, "Why? We can just like go down one of these streets and catch a bus on Consolação." She's like, "That's not a good idea." And I was like, "That explains a lot of the problems that I've had."
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, my last really bad fight was actually on one of those side streets. After leaving Augusta, I was just like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna take this side street and go catch the bus on Consolação." And like clockwork, like four dudes surrounded me, and I put my cigarette out on one of their faces, which is probably not the smartest thing to do because I was outnumbered 4-1, and yeah, they kicked my ass pretty good.
I can imagine. I can imagine. I'm just trying to find this this video, but I mean, it's stuff that has happened, constantly for many years. But just gotta be careful. But anyway, so I went a little crazy. I was like, shit, man, I'm back in this motherfucking city. Oh, there's Travelmatic, and so, I came back and I'll tell you a little bit of what I did when I got back to the city in a bit. But let's get Travelmatic in. What's up, man?
What's going on, team? Brazil team.
What's up? Tell us your
Welcome.
name. What's your actual name?
Adrian.
Adrian. And where are you from,
Welcome,
Adrian?
Adrian.
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Cool. And are you
Nice.
here in Brazil?
No, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia now.
But you've traveled to Brazil a couple times?
Just once, and I did like a real serious a la carte experience, mad dash through 3 cities in like 8 days.
See, you're my type. Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I did like
That's pretty much what I did. Like I did 3 cities. I didn't do as many as you, but I did 3 cities in a week. Just kind of kept hopping around. Now you said Ilha dos Frades. Is this the right place? Let me see if I'm going to share something on the screen, and you tell us a little bit about it. Let me see if I got the right place because that looks interesting. This is where you went?
Yeah. If you go to my channel, I did like 2 nice videos on it. Dos Frades, I may be saying it wrong in Brazil, but Dos Frades and Itaparica.
Itaparica.
Yes, Itaparica.
Wait up, I'm gonna find you here. Share the link to your YouTube channel in the comments. But I got well, I think I got you. Travelmatic TV, right?
It's yeah, travel. Just put Travelmatic, all
No, I
one
got
word
you.
in there.
I got you. So guys, here's the link to his channel. What? We can't see it there, but I put it in the comments right there.
Yeah.
And let's see, we got. Let me see, what video is it?
If you go down about midway, because that was back in November. I went
Here,
about 7 months.
Let me share the screen here. Hello, Anthony McGrew. Oh, see, Pete, the freaks come out at night. We were
Yeah,
ready
well,
to.
because we're in different time zones, man. This is late. This is late for us, but
Oh yeah.
we got
Where
Americans.
is it? Where is it? Adrian, right? Where is
Yeah.
it?
Right there. You see like Itaparica, the to the right.
Ilha dos Frades. I got
Yeah,
it.
that's those Fridays, and the one on the other side is the other one.
Ah, cool.
It's the
Let's.
same. It's the same trip, but I split it in half because it was just 2 different experiences. Um, this is a Itaparica is a bigger island, and you take this boat from Salvador on the port of Salvador. It's like $14, and
Yeah,
you will take this boat from there to Dos Frades and then to Itaparica.
there you go. So, guys, just so you get an idea there. Oh, there you go. Ilha dos Frades, little island there. I'm just gonna skip
Right.
ahead a little bit so folks can see what's up. So, guys, check out his channel. Subscribe. I'm a subscriber there. Although,
Yeah,
if you
that's
stop making
nice,
videos,
man.
because I never see any updates on any videos of yours. So you taking a big
Um,
boat
well,
ride?
I
yeah,
think maybe COVID has him locked down a bit.
Well, that's true.
He does live in the headquarters of the Center for Disease Control. So
and you have a little meal at this place at Itaparica, but you can eat at both places. Cool little islands. Before COVID, they were really like um, real popular local
Man, that's a packed boat.
excursion,
Mm-hmm.
and you take. I mean, this the Itaparica is a bigger island than Dos Frades. Dos
Mm-hmm.
Frades is really like a small island, but this one right here has like school and um not a university, but a few schools. They're kind of self-sufficient on that island. They don't really have to have things sent stores and all that stuff is over there. And,
Mm-hmm.
but this little part here is just where
Ooh,
um,
couscous. I love
you kind
couscous.
of just sit there and eat and,
oh, that looks really
out there
nice.
in the water.
Get fat. Man, it's
Yeah,
so
man.
incredible when you think of Brazil. I mean, there's many places like this around the world, but Brazil has so many splendid places that really feel like whatever that image in your head is of paradise,
Yeah,
it's there. It's incredible the natural beauty in this country, and not just beaches. Because, like I said, I'm not a beach guy at all. I'm not a big fan of the beach, so I go a lot into the mountains. And
Okay.
good Lord, you see so many beautiful things if you go inland.
yeah.
From lakes to rivers to waterfalls, mountain ranges, and it's freaking incredible. Which is why, I mean, I'm not sure if you know, Adrian, that's actually one of the lines in is it the Brazilian national anthem or not? But they say Brasil, terra abençoada por Deus. It's a land that's been blessed by God. Because there's some fucking gorgeous landscapes down here. There you go.
And that's what I love about Brazil. And what fascinates me is it's like a world within a continent of South America. Like it's a whole. Because like I go to Colombia a lot. It's a lot of variety in cultures in there. The coast of Colombia, you got Medellin, which is more of a Europe, Latin America feel. But Brazil is just like that's why I couldn't make. I said this is my first time going to Brazil. I want to go to the Afrocentric side of Salvador, and you can't go to Brazil and not go to Rio. And it's just like, but I heard Sao Paulo was cool too, So I'm like, I'm gonna do all of them, man. And I mapped it out and did like 2 days. Well, I came into Sao Paulo, and I had a real long layover. Like I got there at like 5 a.m. in the morning, and I didn't have to leave to go to Salvador until like 6 p.m.
Oh my God.
So,
that's a long time to stay in Guarulhos.
But that's enough time to see. You could actually like go see all of Sao Paulo in a day and still be back in time for your flight.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't trust it. The traffic is a pain in the ass. What did you do?
Well, I went to Paulista.
Okay.
And walked all down Paulista a good bit. Stopped in a few shops just to try to see, how they, what's the cuisine like in the food. Of course, went to a Starbucks to see what's the difference in their Starbucks versus other Starbucks. And where else did I go? I went because I was supposed to do a graffiti tour, I think, or a cachaça class that I was trying to do, but I couldn't book it, or I forgot to book it. And what else did I do? I went to this museum for a little bit, and before you know it, I forgot the name of the museum, but it's somewhere off of Paulista.
Yeah, probably Mosby. Was it the one with the big red? It looks like it's kind of up.
The one that's on stilts. It's on
it's like on stilts, on red stilts. It's
yes, that's it.
Yeah, that's Mosby. Yeah, I've never been there. I've lived here 7 years and I haven't been there.
That's the Museu de Arte de São Paulo, the São Paulo Museum of Art.
And before you know, it was like 2 something. I said, let me try and get back to the airport to make sure I don't miss this flight. And but that layover was kind of like a self-made layover because I flew into Sao Paulo, and it was up to me to get back to Sao Paulo to fly out back to Atlanta. And so I went on your Brazilian sites to book flights to Sao Paulo, from Sao Paulo to Bahia, and I stayed there 2 nights, and then I flew out to Rio, and I stayed there like 3 nights, I think, or so. It was like maybe 3 days in Sao Paulo and 3 days in or 4 days in Rio. Yeah. And did favela tours. I got a guy named Obi that does favela tours, speaks English, Afro-Brazilian. And he lives in Rosina favelas.
Yeah, Rosina is popular among expats. There's a lot of expats that live in Rosina because it's one of the more relatively laid back favelas. So I know a few expats that live in Rosina.
You know that live in there?
Yeah, they live in there. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Rosina. And there's another one that's kind of, is it Vidigal? I think Vidigal is another one because there's a lot of favela parties and folks just go up there to the top of the hill, and they kind of have an accord. I guess the drug lords or whatever, they kind of know hey, this has become kind of a hot spot for tourists. We can make some money, so they kind of pacify it better than the police do, and just say, let the people live and have and party a little bit. Because some places, man, Rio is that place is insane. Like if you go down the wrong little alleyway in Rio, going up into the wrong favela, there's a few stories about that where they just shoot you on sight. You know,
Yeah.
quite a few stories on that if you go on Google. Just tourist shot on sight. Um,
Worse if
but
you're in a car. If you're in a
yeah, if
car,
you're in a
like
car,
forget about
forget
it.
about it. There's a few stories like that, and it's a shame because it's like they're using Waze, and you can't use Waze in Rio because it's not because the favelas are right next to like the main strips, so you make a left and
Yeah,
you're
but you
right.
also get these morons who think like, wouldn't it be cool to visit a favela and take selfies? Like, and they're mystified as
Exactly.
to why
Without
they get killed.
knowing there's like rules to the game. Like you
Yeah,
can't just walk into somebody's house because those are actual their communities, and 80
exactly.
to 90% of the folks there are just hardworking, fine people. But you get, unfortunately, a little bit of the criminal element in there and they protect their own. So it's like you're stepping into somebody's house, So I'm very
Right.
respectful. Which actually, I was going to talk about that next. Of what I'm doing once I got back to Sao Paulo is I'm working at a urban garden in one of the favelas near my house, and no, I'm super respectful walking in there because it's not the one that I'm used to going into. There's one that I got family in there, so I'm in there. I'm in and out all the time. But it's the next one over, so I made sure I went with somebody. It was cool. There's some folks there that are squatting, and there was a little bit of a conflict between them and building the garden, blah blah blah. But everything's kind of chilled, so I was like, okay, just be respectful, but it's almost you have to consider it as if you're walking into somebody's house. You just don't walk. Well, you're from the U.S. It's not much different. I mean, in the U.S., it's very territorial too. You
Right.
just don't go. I lived in Philly for a while. There's places in Philly I just wouldn't go to because I didn't know anybody there. There's no reason for me to be there, and if I walked in there, I would get my ass beat because what the fuck are
Yeah,
you doing
you don't go into Compton and take tourist photos.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. So you treat the favelas the same way with that type of respect. Um, I'm enjoying this video here though. This is in Ilha dos Frades. Very cool. And what
Yeah.
was your favorite spot out of this 8 city tour?
Oh, wow. Um. Um. The 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 favorite spot was more of a experience was my the what I would narrow it down to is the experience, and I did a video on that too with these girls. A cooking experience.
Mm-hmm.
I like to cook too, or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I found it on Airbnb experience, cooking moqueca.
There comes the
Yeah,
muqueca again. Love that muqueca.
okay.
Pete has never had muqueca, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, we gotta change that.
Yeah, we got to change that, man. We got to get you to get some moqueca. And these girls, actually, it was just one girl, but her roommate was there with her too. And I thought she was an older lady from the photo, but when I pulled up, um, she was a younger girl, maybe like in her, she probably late 20s, probably about 28 or something like that. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, hey, she's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right.
Well,
And
we
so
get you. We get you.
yeah, so then I'm like, oh, okay, this is gonna be even better. And then when her friend comes out the room, I'm like, oh, okay. And so I'm like, hey, can I, film this for experience? Like, yeah, you can. And so they made the fish. It had shrimp in it too, fish and shrimp, no cake, I think it was. Yeah, it had shrimp in it, and they did the this traditional thing that comes with it, like it looked like it's made out of the cassava flour.
Oh, is it the mandioca fries? The fried mandioca?
Those are
Or no, it was
good.
like a porridge. It looks like sweet potato, like mashed sweet potato actually after you finish. Because you use some of that oil, that bende oil in it, and it changes the color, kind of orangish looking. and we had that and some rice. And
Wow.
so and then they made me two caipirinhas. They showed me how to make
Caipirinhas, yeah.
caipirinha.
Capoeira,
Yeah, I know.
Was
I'm
it
capoeira.
this? Was it the caldo de mandioca that you had?
no, you gonna probably have to go to the video,
Okay.
and it's like I took a whole picture of what we had because she had it laid out. Just a beautiful experience,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't remember. It's like it was made out of the cassava flour, the bende oil, of course, water, and she just whipped it like grits, whipping it like grits. And
Yeah.
she said that is kind of served with that in that
Mm.
area. I think so. This is regional, maybe. And so as she like, I'm doing most of the cooking, but then like and like no, actually before we started cooking, they made the caipirinhas, and then um they were starting to show me other drinks. They were just bringing the drinks out. It was like, you want a beer, and I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking like, now my Western
That
American
sounds like a
mentality is kind of
dangerous
kicking in.
mix,
I'm thinking they're trying to run the bill up on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
right?
And so I'm like, okay, like, oh, hey, if I have to, because I already paid for the experience, but if they want to serve me, I'm just enjoying myself. Whatever it costs, I'll give them extra. So they gave me this green thing that was like it's a concoction. It was real. It was minty licorice. That was a liquor that they gave to me,
Mm-hmm.
and then they gave like the drink you was just talking about. I thought it could have been the same thing. I think it was kind of a cinnamon taste, but it was some kind of concoction, looked just like the one you had. And then we cooking and we drinking, and then towards the end, after I'm finishing up, then I spent like 4 or 5 hours with these ladies. And then I'm like, okay, so like, how much extra do I owe you? And they're like, no, it's free. You don't owe us nothing. You already paid for it.
Nah.
And I'm like, huh? And I'm like, no, like, y'all serious? Like, y'all just like, no, we just enjoyed your time. We're going to experience. And I
Well,
was
that's
like,
nice.
wow.
That's rare too, actually.
It's rare, but well, yes and no, dude. Because that's like the lady that was giving me free drinks. If you're nice to folks here, they tend to be nice back. It depends. It's like they gotta feel you, like because they'll definitely screw you in a second. Like they'll screw you over.
Okay.
In a second. You'll get that
It
gringo
depends
tag
on
like
how much
fast.
money they think you have, though.
Yeah, it does. But if you just come with a nice light energy, like real humble, um, 'cause that's the thing. Like some folks carry themselves around with the wrong energy. They come with that I'm American,
Yes.
I'm German, I'm English, type of tourist energy. Yo, they're gonna
Okay.
run up that bill. You're gonna get that gringo tax quick. But if
Okay.
you have a nice, just like you're just a humble person, like that's what you saw all the pictures that I showed of everybody that I didn't know these people. I met them in 8 days, and they were all so nice to me. They showed me here, showed me there, took me everywhere. This dude lent me his bike. Like he let me keep it in the posada where I was staying. I was even like I couldn't get in touch with him to give him his bike back. I was like, shit, dude, you're gonna have to pick it up. Uh, but why? Just I came at everybody like that's just who I am. I'm like just a nice kind of try to be a nice humble dude. And then people will what do you call it? They'll usually things will usually work out for you if you do that as a traveler. But if you come with that attitude, like, I'm here to just spend my money and see some bitches and do this and that,
Hmm.
you're just you're gonna get
You are
screwed.
asking for
Because
trouble.
Brazilians are very hospitable people by nature.
Yeah. Yes.
They're very hospitable. So yeah, you have better luck if you come with that energy than with something else. Because I've seen friends of mine that have gotten taxed, the gringo tax,
Okay.
and but I saw the energy that they're coming with. I'm like, obviously you're gonna get that because you just don't look like you're. Or I might have gotten it when I was in Cananea because for whatever reason I just felt like I had that spotlight on me in Cananea for whatever reason. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get screwed in this city. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Um, but the other place I was at, it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. So this place with the beautiful ladies and the free food, where was this?
That was in Salvador.
That was in Salvador. Okay, yeah. So
Okay.
beautiful ladies and free food. That's good. Yeah, that definitely puts it top of the list. I imagine.
One of the
Uh,
best carnivals in Brazil, apparently, is in Salvador.
it is considered one of the best ones. It's a little wild. I think a little too wild for me.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it was way too wild for me, man.
yeah, it's a lot of folks, man. And
My
did you?
skin tone is a bit pale for Salvador.
Now, will they have Carnival this year coming up?
I do believe they will
Yeah,
actually.
like next year now, I guess.
Yeah, like 2022. I do believe it will happen because we're all vaxxed up.
But wasn't the thing that they canceled Carnival in February to have it later in the year? I forgot. I thought
Yeah,
they.
they were supposed to have it in July, but the assumption was that everyone was going to be all vaccinated by July, but it turns out it's only like the first shot for most people.
Okay, yeah. So probably
But
only.
by mid-August, most people will mid-August to mid-September, most people will have had both.
Yeah, we should be good for next year. Actually, our first podcast together was about carnival. Yeah, carnival
Carnival.
memories
Yeah.
and all the different types of carnivals that there are. So I don't know if you know. Oh my God, I'm drinking a little bit here. So remind me of your name. It's Anderson.
Adrian.
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 Sorry about that. I'm terrible with names. So Adrian, I don't know if you know the carnival culture here. Like every place is different. So Bahia is very much street parties. You follow the electric truck with bands on top of
Yeah.
it, and
Right.
then
And
Rio is more like
about
you
the
go to the Sambódromo.
samba.
It's the parade. It's like São Paulo. You go.
Now,
Although they do have the bloquinhos, the little street parties too. But the main thing is down the
Those are the
Sambódromo.
best. Those are the best.
And then if you go to the far northeast, like Recife, it's a little bit smaller, very traditional. With different types of
Yeah.
music and stuff, more
Take
folk
your
music.
kids to the
Yes.
Bloggo.
Mm-hmm.
and
So
I heard there's one in Manaus as well too, right?
yes, there's the one good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yep.
don't know that there's a lot of people left in Manaus right now, but yeah,
Oh God.
they have they
Yeah,
have their own thing.
they got hit hard with this pandemic. But yes, that one is a mix of like an indigenous kind of. They take some of the indigenous culture. Actually, I saw that on TV once. It was very beautiful. I'm not a big carnival fan, but I liked watching the one from Manaus because they mix a lot of the indigenous folks and they do all their traditional dances with the stuff coming out of the more mainstream Brazilian carnival culture. So it's a cool mix. Only place that doesn't really have carnivals is down south, but down south is more European based, has a more
Yeah.
European flair. So they're not big. Down south is Oktoberfest. You want to go down south for that. And
Yeah,
the
for sure.
Oktoberfest.
Oh yeah, they have the second biggest Oktoberfest in the world
Yeah,
outside of
it's
Germany.
huge, man. What's
What
the name of that city?
what city?
Uberlandia?
It's Blumenau.
Uberlandia? Okay, yeah, but Uberlandia is a big one too.
Oh no, but Uberlândia is north of us. That's in Minas Gerais. Blumenau,
No,
Oktoberfest.
but it's like got a huge Germanic population.
Yeah, so there you go. And look at
Blum,
the houses and stuff.
it's BLUMENH.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Blumenau.
Bloom, like Blum.
Blumen,
Like think of Blum E now. B L
Blum
U
yeah,
now.
M
but
E
there's
N
an
A U.
H in it, isn't there? It's Blumenhaus.
No,
But
there's
you
no
don't.
H. There's no H. At
Oh,
least not in
really?
Portuguese. It's Blumenau.
Okay.
Yeah, look at the houses. So you can see the style. It's total
Yeah.
Dutch, German influence down south.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was founded by Nazi war criminals, I think.
Wow, I did not know that, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a whole different world. Actually, I wanted to go to the south of Brazil on this trip to a city called Curitiba, just for the architecture alone. But I just was like, yeah, I need to save some money, man, because I plan on going to the deep south in December because some family moved down there. So I was like, I'm just gonna save up some cash and go to the deep south. But yeah,
Oh, nice.
so Blumenau is that, and there's Oh, there's a city actually in the south. Look at this. You would never imagine this. It's actually snowing there right now.
Yeah, I heard
I
it's
believe
snowing
it.
in Brazil
Look at
somewhere.
this. Look at this. Does this look like Brazil? This is Gramado. That's in the very deep south, but it's super cute, man. It's like you went to Sweden.
Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
expect to see Heidi there or something.
yeah, yeah.
Where
It's
is this again?
This is a city called Gramado, 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 and this is in the south of Brazil. This is
Yeah.
Gramado is in Rio Grande do Sul. Rio Grande do Sul, if I'm not mistaken, is I think it's the last. Wait, let me see. Rio Grande do Sul. It might be one of the last little. Yep, it's the last little state before you get to Uruguay, right
Oh,
there.
a shout out to Daniel, by the way. Uh, Thanks, moqueca. I will try
Uh,
it.
Macaca is an acquired taste. Yeah, I put that comment up there. I don't think it's that acquired, man. I liked it on the first shot. I was in Brazil for like a month, maybe two, and a student of mine, it was like she was one of my first student, older lady from Bahia. She invites me to her house because she's like, I want to have private classes with you. So okay, I go to her house. She's got her 70-year-old mom from Bahia there. It was her mom's birthday, and as a gift, that was weird, but I guess it was her mom's gift to herself is that she spent 2 days in the kitchen making a moqueca from scratch, and she let me have it. And I was like, shit, it was delicious. So that's the thing I told Pete, by the way, Adrian. I said, if you have a muqueca, get a good one. Don't get, like, if you got to spend 60, 70 reais, spend it because you're going to get a good one. Don't go cheap on the muqueca because you don't want some old shrimp. I've had, like, at a buffet, they had some
Yeah,
muqueca there. Nah, you don't want a muqueca from there. You want to go to a nice place. It's a little tougher in Sao Paulo because Sao Paulo doesn't have, it's got the coast, but it's a little further away. But you can find one. Oh, by the way, so where are you, Daniel H. Charles? Because he says greetings from the
he's in
deep south.
Atlanta. Oh, no, Daniel. Yes.
Yeah, Daniel, unless it's from the deep south of the U.S., but let us know if you're in the deep south of Brazil. So, yes,
hmm.
so Brazil's huge, guys.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot to explore. It's not, just Sao Paulo and Rio. Definitely not in Salvador, obviously. Um, so there's a whole lot to do. Oh, he's in west coast of Santa Catarina. Okay,
Oh,
Santa
okay, very
Catarina,
nice. Not far,
very
not
nice
far.
place. A lot of people love Santa Catarina. And then Florianopolis, right, is a city a lot of people love in Santa Catarina.
Hmm.
And so there's a little bit of that. And folks that go to Florianopolis, they swear by it. They're like, man, you
Oh
think
no,
Rio
people are
is like,
addicts for that city, man.
yeah, they're like, yeah, Rio is like whatever after you go to Florianopolis. Like, this is the actual beach city you want to live in. And it's super safe. Actually, in our expat groups, sometimes people ask, oh, what's a safe city to go? Florianopolis is always, oh, Florianopolis, we walk around 10, 11 at night. Nobody bothers us. It's a little island, gorgeous, clean, organized, whatever you want to say, a lot of beaches. And so, more places to visit there. And you can see it's a little island there to get to Florianopolis. So yeah, guys, whole lot of places to visit and go to in Brazil. Okay, this guy's near
Yeah.
Chapeco.
Florianopolis. Okay. I've heard about Florianopolis.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
Well,
it's a
that's a pretty little
popular
city.
city. Like there's nothing there apparently except for beaches, but it seems to be, according to people who've been there, it seems to be devoid of most of the social problems that plague the entire rest of Brazil, basically. I mean, to hear people tell it, it's a paradise where all Brazilian related problems do not exist.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. It's but it seems kind of self-sustainable. Like people that go there, like there's jobs there. There's
Right.
stuff to do. So it seems like a nice place to hit, which I would like to visit. Danny, if you want to chime in for a little bit, just click on that link there and we'll let you in. Um, Adrian,
Yes.
we're gonna let you go, but I want to thank you
Yeah,
for
thanks, dude.
getting.
Anytime.
It was a
Yeah, because you
pleasure.
gave us a nice tour. Actually, let me put your thing up again, but I'll link to it in the comments, like in the regular comments, not these live things, so people will check out your site. Yeah, man, there's a lot of good content. God, you make some really nice videos, though. What are you using, like a drone in a
Yeah,
professional?
I use drones. I got like 3 cameras, and just working on editing. That's it. All comes down to the editing, really.
Editing is a
And
bitch, which is
oh, it
why.
is.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, we're just doing these little live, these little mini podcasts. I used to do them recorded and then edit them out later. Come on, I said I'm never gonna get these out because it just takes a while. And me and Pete, every once in a while, we do these like movie marathons. There's like at least two that one day will see the light of day because it just takes so long to edit out our drunken spats. So we said let's just do it live. But all right, man, we're gonna let Daniel come on for a little bit. But thank you for supporting the channel. And
Always, man. Y'all some good people, man. That's why I always come on.
oh, thank you. No, we love the support. And if you're in Sao Paulo, you know who to call. Okay,
All right,
have some,
take care, man.
have some caipirinhas.
Yes,
Definitely.
sir. All right, fellas.
Thank you,
All right.
sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye
Thanks,
bye.
Adrian.
Let's get Daniel on here real quick. What's up, Daniel?
What's up, bro?
From the deep south.
Hello.
Hello. Tell us what's the city that you're in?
Uh, I'll spell it for you, but there's nothing here. X
X.
well, the second one.
Is it Shashin?
Yeah,
Oh, you're in a little city.
yeah, it's paradise.
Look at that. And how did you end up in Shashin? That sounds like
I,
somewhere Pete's been in China or something.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I volunteer with migrants. So in
Mhm.
this region, we have a lot of migrants since there are many industries in this region.
Like
Mm.
Um,
migrants from where?
so we have a lot from Senegal, from Venezuela, and from Haiti. You might have heard of this
Oh,
town
okay.
or heard of it. I'm not sure if you heard of a few months ago when China said Brazil's chicken had COVID.
Yes, yes.
They all came from my town.
Oh God.
That's a nice claim to fame.
And actually, I did believe the Chinese. Actually, I did think the chicken had COVID because the workers here are forced to work even if they were sick. They were forced to come to work.
Okay,
Otherwise, they
good.
would lose out on a few benefits. So they all
Oh,
went to work even though they had COVID. So I'm almost certain that China was right.
that's crazy.
That's
Well, let me
horrible.
see here. I'm looking
It's
at
funny, but it's horrible.
the tourism guide. There's not much to do here, but it looks
No, I
cute.
mean, sorry, this region is like bare.
Hey, you can go to
We,
church, and you can go to church.
yeah,
And
I don't do
you
that.
can see a fountain. Uh, no, I'm always amazed that folks. Where are you originally from?
Miami,
Oh, originally from Miami. How long have you been here?
4 years now, but I haven't lived in the U.S. since 2013. I've been living in South America, volunteering and working with migrants. I am a child of migrants myself. My parents are from Haiti.
Okay,
Cool,
so
cool.
so Daniel, you've been volunteering since 2013. What do you do for money?
So I work as an interpreter,
Okay, that's nice.
but beforehand I worked as a teacher, an English teacher. But
Okay.
I was severely underpaid and overworked.
Yes, that can
So
happen.
I just had to quit. I couldn't do it anymore. It was just too much.
Okay, but your Portuguese is good. Like you can make a living as an interpreter.
Yeah. So I have this little chicken you seeing there is our main entertainment in the city.
Oh my goodness.
So this
So
company you see
you're a
there,
hot
the Aurora
commodity.
company,
You're a
is
hot
the one
commodity.
with the COVID chicken.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. Wait, yeah, I'm looking here at this article. Wait a second. Let me
I can send you the link.
get the article here. Oh, if you got a link, yeah, do it. But I'm seeing here Portal de X. It says, yeah, the people of the Shashinense people are speculating about why this what do you call this
It's
meat
the COVID
place
chicken.
closed in the
We've just been
city.
told.
Uh,
Here you
yeah,
go.
so people hear one thing and start saying another. So yeah, I don't know if this is related to COVID. No,
I
this is
sent you the.
2018.
There's a link on the chat.
Oh, let me see here. Oh, by the way, pirão is the name of the dish. Pirão.
And and to be honest, thank you for bringing that up because I made a mistake earlier when I said I did not like moqueca. I meant pidon. It's an acquired taste.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Pirão is a bit more of an acquired taste. I like it, but it's different. I can show you a picture. Shin identifica a fábrica da Aurora in Xaxim. Okay, so there's this chicken factory in Xaxim, the Aurora factory as the origin of the contaminated chicken. Oh.
So the only time we make the news, it's for COVID.
Oh yeah, well.
But it was all good. But yeah, so down here it's a small town of 28,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
We have a
That's
lot
a
of
really
migrants,
small town.
because there's a lot of industries here for work. So as a result, plenty of work for me to do here. But when I need traveling, I just go outside of the area. I was just in Salvador 3 weeks ago.
Oh, nice. So you did get to travel a little bit.
Yeah, no, I cannot stay in one place for more than 3 months without
Oh.
going. I would go crazy. So I do take these trips, these spontaneous trips. To be honest, Salvador is quite nice. I've been there twice or 3 times already.
Mm-hmm.
But this last time I went there, things just did not go my way. So one thing I did not know with the beach, apparently the tides rise
Yes.
unexpectedly.
Yes, they do.
Oh, by the way, you reminded me now, speaking of being reminded of something, that's the other thing, Pete, that I was worried about taking that run down the beach is getting caught with the tide going up because actually sometimes the buses can't come back if it's too late because the tide is high. So if I waited
Right.
till 6 p.m., I might have not been able to come back. But I also thought about that while running. I was like, oh shit, what if the tide
No,
starts coming up?
I grew up
Fortunately,
on an island, dude. I'm familiar with the dangers of the tide.
yes, but go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Daniel.
no, so I went to the beach. Well, my main reason for going there anyway was to renew my residency,
Yes.
which expired. So I went to renew it. Since down here there was no appointments in the federal police, so I went there, and I went to the beach for on day 2 of being there. Unexpectedly, the ocean. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought the screenshot down here. Unexpectedly, can you hear me?
Yes, no, perfectly.
Yeah, yeah.
So unexpectedly, I left everything on the shore. My Bluetooth speaker, my phone, everything was on the shore. My towels, and I'm in the water having fun because it was super freezing down here. So it was nice to get away. When I looked back, I did not see my things.
Oh
So
no.
I freaked out. I'm like, okay, where are my things? I looked into the water. They're all floating
wow.
there.
Yeah, because it creeps up on you, right? It creeps up on you last minute.
So my phone got destroyed, got damaged. It is waterproof, but the screen had a crack, so the water went through the screen.
No.
My Airbnb house keys went away into the water.
Went away. Yeah. They
My
took a
speakers
swim.
got wet, though they survived. My towels, everything just
You got everything, like everything went away.
everything.
Uh, except for the
Not
one thing that you
everything.
don't
Not
need, which are
everything.
speakers. Like you got speakers that you can't use for anything.
Because the
Like
phone wasn't.
everything got damaged except the one thing that you don't need.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there freaking out. I'm freaking out quite bad because I plan everything. Like if I'm taking a trip, I plan every hour of my trip. So when things don't go as planned, it throws me off. I can't. I don't even. I don't know how to behave. So I'm freaking out. Uh, I couldn't get back to my Airbnb. I didn't know how to get there. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
so I have a friend of mine who was nearby. So I walked over to his place, and he was able to help me reach out to my Airbnb, who said he would be there in 3 hours. So I had to wait for 3 hours to get the keys, to get a key copy made. The guy went there; he could make the keys. Long story short, I ended up the next day I went on Facebook to look for a phone desperately because for my work I have to be constantly on WhatsApp connected. So the guy never showed up, and I hate stereotypes, but this guy lived up to the Bahamian stereotype of being lazy. Because we were supposed to meet up. It was about 1 hour from 1 mile from his house.
You know something. I don't like to say they're lazy. I just like to say they know how to appreciate their beautiful surroundings.
Nah, but he was just mad lazy. He was just plainly lazy. We
Yeah, but
scheduled to
because
meet up at a mall to
the
buy a
the
phone from
reason
him
is
for.
the reason is he needs you need him more than he needs you. So he doesn't have to move for anything. Like you're still gonna be just as desperate for his help when he
it,
gets there 3 hours late as you were 3 hours earlier.
and Buddy was begging me for the money because he needed the money badly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, I went to the mall to meet him to get the phone. 1 hour passed. He's not there, and I'm freaking out. Like, what's happening? So I went up to the mall. They had a cyber cafe, an internet cafe. So I used that and to send him a message. Oh, he actually went there. That's cool. I'm like, buddy, we planned it. We would meet there in 30 minutes. Oh wow, okay, I'm home. I just feel like leaving home, so I'm still here.
And he's like
Um,
1 mile away.
1 mile away, and I could have sent him a car. No, I'm still here. Like, because at this point, I used my computer. I downloaded an emulator which stimulates Android, and I was able to get back on WhatsApp on my computer. It's a bit technical. If you don't understand it, it's fine. But at this point, I could use WhatsApp on my computer. But when I leave home, the computer stays behind, so I had no access to anything. So anyway, he said, "Oh yeah, no, tomorrow is that going to work for you?" I'm like, "Buddy, you stood me up once. I don't think I'm going
Yeah.
to risk it for tomorrow. So okay, forget it."
Yeah.
And it was a Saturday, so I'm freaking out, walking, looking for a phone, and I had a work meeting that same night that I had to go through via phone. So I'm looking for a phone desperately, and I went to this mall where they sell different. They have different shops, and this guy sold phone cases. And I said, "Hey, do you have any phone for sale?" He said, "Yeah, I have an iPhone here. It works fine, an iPhone 6S." So I bought it, tested it. It worked fine. Got home with it. The bottom part stopped working. So typing, I couldn't press space or dot. Everything that could have gone wrong just went wrong, and it was raining massively. It was just crazy, but still, the people in Salvador are just quite welcoming. The food is truly amazing, except pito, which is not sure, but everything else was just amazing there. It really is the place to go.
By the way, this is Pidon, guys. It's how do you describe it? It's almost like it's not a stew. It's almost like you take
Porridge.
yeah, it's like a porridge. There you go. It's like a porridge. I dig it sometimes. If you make it with chicken stock, I don't know if I like pidon with a fish. It's kind of nasty. My mom used to make that, but sometimes they make a pidon with the rest of the chicken stock and like some farinha, and then you mix it all together, and it does turn into this kind of porridgey type uh, thing here, which is not too bad. But yeah, fish. The fish one, I was never a big fan of. My mom used to make that. And by the way, here, Porto de Barra, Anthony McGrew mentioned Porto de Barra has very calm beaches. Porto de Barra, right there in Salvador. Yeah, Salvador is the beach destination. And most folks that travel will say, like, for it's like if you're a virgin to Brazil, of course you go to Rio and you're like, oh my God, it's beautiful, and it is beautiful. I mean, not I wasn't a big fan of like the urban side of it. I thought it was pretty dilapidated and just needs a little bit better management. But the nature part of it is fucking gorgeous. But when you get outside of Rio, then it's like a whole new world. It's like, what the fuck? It's like all the way up to Natal, or if you go inland towards Goiás and you go into all the caves and the underwater, they have like these what do you call those, Pete? The with the hot water, the pools of hot water,
Hot springs.
hot springs, and the canyons, and I mean, and then even the beaches. It's like folks are like, man, if you think you mean the beaches in Rio, they're like lakes. If you compare it to like the beaches of the Northeast, those are the actual real nice beaches. Oh, I think Daniel knocked himself out by mistake. What did I? Oh. Anthony McGrew says, you're buying stolen goods from the thieves that have robbed the people on the bus going to work. Oh, no. This is true, though. If you're buying from some of these places, you're not always sure where the stuff came from. But it happens. It happens.
Oh,
And
I
you're
swear to
lucky it
God,
didn't
I
get
bought my
scammed
own
harder.
phone.
I met a guy here maybe like 8 years ago from Minas Gerais. Poor guy. He just come to Sao Paulo. He bought a computer off the street from some dude. He held it in his hand. It looked like it was all working fine. But then when he gets home, like the inside of the computer, like all the parts were taken out, and they had stuff like little wood planks of wood and stuff in there to like make it weigh like a computer. And yeah, so it didn't turn on, obviously, for obvious reasons. So yeah, and you have to be careful. Actually, a friend of mine at Santa Virginia, they tried to do that with him, but then our friend Stephanie went back and got the money back, because he had already left Brazil. A friend of ours, Brian, and that was with nota fiscal and everything. They gave us the receipt, the warranty, because I went with him. And the battery lasted like 12, 10 hours or something, and it just like died. And the dude was like, because what they'll do is this, and this is a slick trick, guys, so be careful, because I know a few people that they've tried to pull this on. They'll show you the product, oh, here's the battery that you need, test it, it works. All right, let me go in the back and get it for you. That's when the little switcheroo happens. That's when the switcheroo happens. So actually, a guy in the expat blog said this, in one of the expat sites. He said the dude did exactly that. It's just that when he came back with it, in the bag, I asked him, "Can you please take it out of the bag and test it again?" The guy was like, "Well, why? I mean, blah 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 blah." Try to talk his way out of it. It's like, "No, I want you to test it again." Of course, when he tested it again, it was a defunct battery. So then.
Wow.
We gave him the actual.
I find Santa Efigenia very reliable. I do a lot of business down there.
Most of the time it is, because now that's become like a point, like a place where folks go to that they know they can get their electronic goods for, that are more or less legit.
Yeah, because what's the value in screwing your customers?
Exactly.
Like, you're gonna get repeat business. So
I think what happened with my friend Brian that screwed us over, and now that I think about it, actually I just thought about this now. I think what screwed us is that we were he was on his way out, and we kind of made that apparent. Like he needed to buy this because he was leaving Brazil. So he probably thought, oh, this motherfucker's gonna be gone, he's not coming back. So then they try to screw him. So, but little did he know that friend over here and friend over there were very much still in Sao Paulo. So we went back there with the receipt and said we want the right battery, uh, and then they gave it to us. So yes. Oh, Anthony. Well, we got to get Anthony on at some point. Anthony's probably got some stories to tell. I know he's got some stories to tell. Some
He's
wild
already told plenty.
stuff. um, so, yes. So, Daniel, he kind of muted himself. I don't know what happened there, Daniel. Thank you for coming on.
I'm
Okay.
here. I just didn't want to.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. I've said this a million times on the podcast. I love people that don't live in the big centers. Like, how the hell did you end up out in the middle of nowhere? But I agree with you. What you said, it's like paradise. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but at least for me, when I went to this little city of Iguape, I was like, this is perfect. Like, now that so much stuff has moved online, I can more or less maintain myself working online. Dude, I can't say, that in 5 years I wouldn't mind moving out there. Like, I'd buy a car first because for me, I think it's essential to have a vehicle in these little towns, especially if I want to come back into the city or
For what
something.
purpose? Okay, just for the, just to go to the city. Because for me here, I don't really need a car because I can walk anywhere.
Yeah, no, yeah, the city's super tiny. Like, Iguape is super tiny. Now, Ilha Comprida, impossible. Like, you need a car there. I mean, unless you want to just. But even then, it got tiresome, man. Like, from my posada to where all the little bars were at, it was like a 3 kilometer walk. I mean, I kind of got used to it after the third day, but it's still a pain in the ass. Like, there's no Ubers, there's no taxis, there's no nothing. Most people have bikes, so okay. Once I got the bike, it was a little bit better, but still, like, even just to go to Iguape, it's like a pain in the ass. Even with a bike, you got to go across the bridge at like in the middle of the night, and sometimes you're drunk as hell. Well, I don't want to drive drunk either, so that's not a good example. But in either case, yeah, it gets tiring sometimes. Sometimes, I mean, I'm an avid runner. I like to run. I like to physical activity. But even still, I'm like, nah, things are kind of spread out. And like, yeah, and sometimes you do just want to go to the nearby city because they got more stuff to do, or you want to buy something or whatever. And a car, I think, is essential for that. You can hang out if you want for a little bit, but I'm just going to we're slowly winding down here. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what I did once I got back to Sao Paulo, and then also get into Pete's degenerates journey through Sao Paulo. But just real quick, like I said, I was in
Sorry, I'm gonna log off of the StreamYard.
yeah, no
Okay.
problem.
Apparently,
Thanks for coming, though.
but
It was
I will
nice
stay
to
on
have you.
the stream, okay, on YouTube.
Thank you, and thank you for coming. Thank you. Are you subscribed to the channel?
No.
Then you should subscribe. Click that little subscribe button and that little bell so you get notifications when we're on. We're usually on every other week. Okay.
And I usually see your Facebook post, and that's how I know to log in.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I do post it all over Facebook. Which group are you in? Are you in Black expats or worldwide expats?
Gringos and American in Brazil.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
kind of post it in a bunch of sites. But yeah, we're on every other week with the worldwide expats.
I love the one prior with the two girls.
Which one?
The last one you did with the two girls with
Oh,
Nia.
with Renee and Maya.
Yeah.
That was
That
fun.
crazy story with the dude who, the Muslim dude who was married.
Oh yes. Oh no.
Yeah, that was actually
Renee.
a great podcast.
It
Renee
was.
and Maya.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Very
was.
lively.
I know. Like, nothing gets people going like sex.
Yep.
Yes,
And it's funny.
when the,
Something you mentioned there, and it lives rent free in my head. Philip, I have never been with a black guy before.
Yeah.
oh God, I hate that.
It lives rent free in my head because it's
And
so
you
true.
still ain't gonna be with one. That's what I say. I'm like, and you still not. At least not with me. That's the
I
worst
was
part.
like,
Oh my God! Speaking of
Yeah,
Bahia, though, oh my God!
what I loved about that show though was because like I was really afraid that like Phil and I were going to come off like total perverts, and Renee and Maya just like they ran with it. It's like, oh my God, we're prudes compared to them.
I know that's what's funny though, because when we get the women on, because when Pete and I talk about tits and ass and dick, we just come
Yeah,
off like a bunch of assholes, like But then when the women say it, they bring an air of sophistication to it, of like, but they're
yeah,
being nastier than us, but they can get it off.
yeah.
So it's really funny. I love having the female guests. I think I like having the women on even more than when we have male guests. Uh, but because they just go off. Or
Yeah,
like, I
like
don't know if
the
you heard the
first time
one
we had
with,
Carrie on the show, the first thing she said was she misses strippers. It's like,
yes, she misses strippers.
what?
Oh, and Beverly, who just went off. Beverly gave us like the whole like
Yeah, well, she's
hardcore.
tantric masseuse.
Yeah, so we have some interesting folks on, guys. Definitely late night radio here. Um, but anyway, so thank you for coming on,
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Daniel.
pleasure to have
Actually,
you.
yeah, and we what do you call it? Yeah, subscribe to the channel, stay in touch, and
Yeah, I'll do that.
definitely, tell us more when we talk about small cities, because I want to have like a small city show. Just talk about little cities, because Brazil is huge, guys. There's so much to discover here, so many little hidden spots. So anyway,
Sounds good. I'll see you guys later, okay? And thank you so much for
yes.
All
having
right.
me.
Thank you so much.
See
Take
you and
care.
have a good night.
You too. Bye.
So yeah, cool guys, man. Thank you, Adrian
Yeah.
and Daniel, for chiming in. So I get back to Sao Paulo. I'm going paranoid because I'm like, fuck this place compared to where I was. But then this girl adds me on Instagram out of nowhere, and dude, I have been going to this favela called Jaqueline because I got family there for a while. There's these trash dumps, these landfills that are just trash dumps. And finally, the community cleaned it up. They started planting little urban gardens. And I happened to meet this lady who was organizing it. So I'm asking her, how do we organize it? Blah, 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 blah. She gives me the number to this place. It's bureaucratic as hell. So I forget about it. And then last week, I'm on my Instagram. This girl just adds me. And whoever adds me that, I don't know. I check out their page. It's like the name of her page is Urban Gardens in
Oh,
Jacqueline or
nice.
something. I was like, oh shit. So I contact her, and she's doing an urban garden in the little favela right next to Jacqueline. And that's where we were. So that's what I've been doing when I came back to Sao Paulo, other than just fucking. Not that I didn't do that in Ilha Comprida too, but I'll keep those stories to myself. You don't have people just lend you your bikes for nothing, let's say. Um,
Yeah.
uh, but anyway, so we found this beautiful. Look at this. This is in the middle of a favela, man. This one on the left. We took this as inspiration. We're working on the one on the right over here, which is next to like a community center. There's the girl right there. She got the cement blocks. We're already cleaning stuff up, and that's I promised that
Oh,
I did more than just film stuff, but I did actually help them. And they are taking all that grass. That was that grassy area that you saw in the other picture. So you see how quick it's moving along. So that's what I've been up to, just to get my
oh,
mind off of the fact that I'm in this
no,
fucking
that's
city.
nice. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yes. And then okay. So then, oh, did I see a toilet in the middle of? so now
Yeah,
this is.
yeah, no. I missed the rats. The rats got away. They were scared away by the flash.
Look at Anthony. Do tell about the urban gardens of no interest. Well, what I was gonna say, actually, I'll give you a little bit about the fucking.
Oh
Speaking
boy.
of Bahia, and everybody's been talking about Bahia tonight. The guys that called in. Good Lord, man! Last night I got me some Bahian dick that was like, this is the reason why I'm afraid to go to Bahia. I'm not sure I would come back. Cause good fucking lord, it's like another level, and I'm sure that translates to the women too, Pete. It's just like it's just something from another planet. And I've been with a few guys from Bahia, uh, and even some girls from Bahia, and let me tell you, it's just other level care, love, attention, and you're just like, yeah, it's just something else. So that made my night. That was last night. Yes. It was very good, and I had some good shawarma in like this little Bahaka, little corner bar in the north side of Sao Paulo. I'm like, how does that happen? But it was really good shawarma. So it's weird where you find some good food sometimes. But yes,
It
yes.
is. I found a taco place in Pineros actually, like real Mexican tacos, like soft shell tortillas, and like the kind of shit that'll give you dysentery.
Oh yeah, you find it. But anyway, Pete. Pete's been going out to the east side of Sao Paulo,
Hmm.
to the as we like to say, zona lost. You know, because it's zona
Yes.
leste, but a lot of even Brazilians make that joke. They call it zona lost, zona perdida, zona
Yeah.
lost, because
Yeah.
it's out
It's a
there.
whole other country out there.
Hmm.
Like to give you a sense of perspective, my hometown is Victoria, British Columbia, on the southern tip of Vancouver Island. But Vancouver Island actually has a lot of cities, and I went to see Alice Cooper in Nanaimo, which is another city on Vancouver Island, and I took a taxi back for like 100 Canadian dollars, and it took me less time to get back to Victoria from Nanaimo than it did to go to Itakara. I mean, Itakara is fucking out there.
And it's huge. If I mean, look at that. It's just
Yeah, it's a whole other city. Like it's not right actually that this zone actually exists in this, but Sao Paulo is just so huge. It's the size of a small European country, and Itaquera is just another city in the country that is Sao Paulo.
yes, it is, and that's where the Corinthians have their stadium right there. So
That
that's
is, yes, that is
pretty
why
interesting.
people go. That's why it exists actually.
But yeah, so what were you doing out in Itaquera, man?
Well, the first time I went there was because I got this Facebook advertisement that there was like Motorhead and Metallica cover bands playing together at this bar really close to the subway. So I just went out there, and it's on this street called Rua Harry Dannenberg, which is like the least Brazilian name you can think of.
What's it
I don't
called,
know who the
Harry?
fuck Harry Dannenberg.
Oh my God, Harry Dannenberg.
Yeah, it's a very Jewish name. I do
Oh, there
not
it is.
know.
Well, Harry yeah, Dannenberg.
Yeah, yeah, I do not know who he was, but apparently he left an impression on somebody.
Well,
Um,
there are a lot of Jewish folks in Sao Paulo. It
yes,
is.
that's true. Joe Doria's got his own street now too, actually, next to the the CPTM and Morambi. But at any rate, I went out to this place, and it was like ten
Found a
real.
skeleton here.
Yeah, it was 10 real cover. Litraus were 10 reais, and not like Skoll. It was like craft beer Litraus, like
Mm-hmm.
German style beers. So like really good quality. The show didn't start until 11 p.m., which is really nice because over the past year, like most times you go to a show, it starts at 9 and it ends at 11, and you still go home and you're like, fuck, man, I still want to party and shit. So this was kind of a callback to the days of, when you go out for the long haul, like you're not getting home until 7, 8 in the morning. Um, so that was really good. But A nice aspect of it is the guitarist for the Motorhead band also plays in the Led Zeppelin tribute band, and we really hit it off because I told him how I met Jimmy Page and Beijing and all that shit, and he's like, "Oh my god, like you're my brother," and he's like, "I will tell you about all our shows." And his Led Zeppelin band had a show a couple weeks later, so I went out to that. But yeah, the neighborhood is something else. Like that picture of the toilet bowl. I mean, what the fuck? And the thing is, like, I
Look at
took that
this,
picture.
Pete. Look at this before you get to the toilet bowl. Look at this building. That it's being like there are actually people living here, and then the police asked them to move out. They
Oh
call these types
wow,
of buildings treme treme. Treme in Portuguese means shake, so it's called the shake building because yeah, it's kind of like the Leaning
it,
Tower of Pisa has better chance of
right?
staying upright than this. But yes, so but squatters go in there and everything. But yes, let's get back to this toilet bowl because I actually, Pete, I shared this picture in the Facebook group that I'm in called "Toilets with Threatening Auras," and it was quite a hit in there. But I did give you your props. I was like, a friend of mine took this picture. Yeah, so yeah, this is their toilet, and this is not just a toilet that's out in the trash. Apparently, it's like this is where you
No, it's
actually.
just sitting on the street. But the thing is, I took
But
this
people use it.
picture. No, no, I don't think they do.
Oh, okay. I
Well,
thought they actually
actually,
used it.
looking at the picture now, actually, it looks like someone might have, but it's a bit of an accident. But I took this picture when I went there for the Motorhead and Metallica show. And then I went back 2 weeks later and it was still there. Like nobody has removed this toilet
Well, you don't need to.
sitting. Well, yeah, exactly. Like when I lived in Favela Sao Himo, I wanted to take so many pictures of the colorful urban culture, but I didn't want to do that because it's kind of disrespectful, like taking pictures of people's poverty and shit like that. And
Yes.
I don't want to do that. But at the same time, you look at shit like this, like just a toilet on the street. The reason I felt it was okay to take a picture of this is because like nobody was looking. Like it wasn't it wasn't like a big thing. Apparently, this toilet sitting on Hua Harry Dannenberg is just a normal thing that everyone is used to. So I didn't have a problem with it.
I got you. And the oh, you were near Parque do Carmo. Actually, that's a very nice park, though. If you ever get a chance to go there, the Carmo Park. I'm trying to find out who the fuck Barry Dannenberg was, but I
I
can't.
know, I know. I'm curious about that as well. Although I'm still amazed that João Doria actually now has his own street.
Oh, the
I
governor's always,
I don't remember what that street used to be called. It's a really small street, but still, I noticed. I was like, "Where am I?" I was like, "Avenida João Doria? Are you fucking kidding me?"
Oh yeah, these guys all want to leave their little memories behind. But it's weird. I can't find any information on Harry Dannenberg. He just ended up. He was lost, and he's
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, might as well name the street after
yeah.
me."
And
Uh,
and that's a weird neighborhood to have a foreigner name too. Like I like out there, like it's Brazilian as fuck.
oh well, I got a picture of this guy. I wonder if that's him. Oh no, this is interview with Harry Dannenberg, getting your money's worth. No, that's an American thing. I don't know what that is, but I don't think I don't think that's the your Harry Dannenberg. But
No,
this looks like
no.
a very Jewish guy right here.
But my
And
whole
then you
thing
got a
is,
guy here that died in Auschwitz named Harry Dannenberg.
well, it could be it.
Could be because there is, and then there's this guy. He doesn't look like a Harry Dannenberg.
Well, he also looks alive too.
Yes, I don't know. Uh, but
Yeah. but my
Very
whole
bizarre.
thing
But
this month
anyway,
is
go ahead. Go ahead.
the yeah, the reason I wasn't doing your trip, the traveling thing, is because I have this like major passport issue. We did that actually at Canucks. You were like, when does your passport expire? And it was like, I don't know. I don't want to look. And I took it out, and it was like August 13th, and I was like, that's actually better than I expected. I thought it was going to expire in July, but it expires August 13th. But the problem is, Canada requires, for my particular passport, they require a secondary piece of photo ID, which I don't have. I can't get photo ID from Canada because I don't live there. And I can't get photo ID from Brazil because I'm not really all that legal here. So I had to go through this whole process. It basically took most of the month. I mean, I was thinking of going to Rio. I was like, fuck it. I got like, 10 grand saved. I can blow a few thousand in Rio, and I don't even have to take time off work actually. I could work remotely from my hotel. Like it would be perfect. But I have to do all this fucking passport shit. And as it stands now, I the good news is I've submitted my application and they haven't written me back, which is good because the only time Canada writes you back is when they're giving you bad news.
Okay.
So they haven't written me back, so there's no bad news. But the likeliest possibility is that I will get a 1 year passport. And if that's the
Okay.
case, I'm fucking out of it after the end of next year because I can't be paying $800 for a passport every year. Like that's just stupid.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna try and really make this next year the best year I can.
Save up some money and get back to Canada.
Yeah, and then get the fuck out as soon as possible.
Okay. I got you. Well, and you can still keep working. That's the good thing. You can work remotely from Canada. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
it's not the same though. Like
Yeah, because the money won't be worth as
the
much.
yeah the exchange rate is bad, and you also have the time zone difference. It's not
Hmm.
that bad in Canada, but I mean, if I really wanted to continue doing this kind of work from Canada remotely and make the same level of money, you got to work with like Saudis and Asians, but
Yeah.
you're dealing with like a 12-hour difference.
Yeah. No, I got you. Yeah. So, I dug this. I haven't been to the east side of Sao Paulo. Well, no, I shouldn't say that because I was there today, but not the extreme east. I was in
Yeah,
Billings.
no, it's
I've been there in a
really
while.
fun, man. This is a nice little bar. Like, it's when I think about because I've spent a lot of my time socially going to Manifesto, which is really nice. But Manifesto, you drop like 200-300 bucks. This place like under 100 easily to go all night.
And I see you had some catuaba, your favorite little companion.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, this was actually at a gay bar in Bushido Gomidi. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
know the scenery.
Peixoto.
Peixoto Gomidi, yeah.
Yes.
Um, yeah, they have this open bar karaoke because the open bar used to be like one of my favorite things to do pre-pandemic, but most clubs have like developed this code of ethics where it's like not cool to cluster, but these places don't fucking care, man. You can cluster all you want. And the thing is, like, the music sucks, and I'm not gay, so I'm not there for that either. But they did have this karaoke thing going, and they did have this nice rooftop sun bar. Like, it's really over the city. Like, helicopters can be flying like close enough for you to almost touch them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool day. The karaoke was worse than 1,000 9/11s,
Mm-hmm.
but it was entertaining. What can I say? It was like just for a Sunday afternoon to chill when all other options are not available. I liked it.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, yeah. I saw you had told me about this karaoke place, and I was like, folks over there looked pretty fucked up, man.
Yeah, yeah, no, it was 40 Hayal open bar, and
They look dangerous.
it started it
Dude,
started
dude,
at
but
2 in the.
nothing was as bad as this. Come on, I wasn't gonna show this video, but I got to now because you mentioned the karaoke. I mean, this lady was fucked. Look at this. Look at her.
No, no, but I will tell you what I did see. There were a lot of couple karaoke's, and I don't
Yes,
know. Like I lived in Asia for 6 years, and Asians take karaoke pretty seriously, but they're fucking good at
yes,
it, right?
yes.
And Brazilians take it seriously too, but they're not good at it.
I
And
agree. I agree.
they were singing, and like the boyfriend was fucking up, and his girlfriend like just fucking drilled him right in the face, and he took it. He was like this big tall guy. He was like 6'4", probably more than 200 pounds. And his
Mhm.
girlfriend's like this short little thing, and she's like, "You fucked up the karaoke," and she just like fucking drilled him right in the face.
That's funny. Yeah, 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 yeah. They did take it seriously here, but they're not good at it. I used to go with a friend of mine, Andrew, to a nice one called Belas Artes, right on Consolação, and it was like every whack job you could ever imagine, and us included. Uh, but our favorite was this guy that we dubbed Cher. He was this very buff. He looked like a Ken doll, like real big buff blonde gay dude with this extra tight shirt, and he would sing Cher. He would sing, "Do you believe in life after love?" But what was funny about him is that he would sing like it's like the beat came late or something. So like the beat would be here, and he would be like, "No matter how hard I try, you keep pushing me. Uh, do you believe?" And we would crack up with this guy, but we couldn't help loving him. Like we were really friendly with him. He was a really nice guy, and he was this very big, buff, effeminate dude. And he used to teach English, but I felt bad because folks were so prejudiced with him because he was a bit effeminate. So he couldn't get a lot of class, but he was like super well dressed. He was like Fabio, like very
Oh, of course, of course. That's
stylish. But unfortunately, because he was a bit femme and his style, like the way he talked. Because if you just looked at him with his mouth shut, you're like, oh my god, this is like a top model. He looked like Fabio from like
but
the.
but then he talks like
And
this.
then he's like, and then folks, I'm like, fuck it. But I used to love Cher. Really nice dude. But anyway, y'all, we've been on for a long time. I'm
We
done.
have. This is
We
our
have no more.
record, I think.
We have no more slides. I have no more slides to share. I want to thank everybody that came on. I want to thank Adrian and Daniel. Adrian, right? Because I'm terrible with names.
Yeah, Adrian, Daniel.
Travelmatic, for coming on. Subscribe to his channel. He's got some good content on there. Uh, we went on our July vacation extravaganza. Hopefully next week we will have a little bit of a music extravaganza. But if not, we'll have somebody on. Uh, I got
It
a little
is.
list
I
of
don't know. What
folks.
what is 2 weeks from now? August 19th. Ah, no. That's a little early. I'm hopefully going to
August
CPM
16th.
20 in 17th. Actually, we're on the 3rd now. It's after midnight.
Oh yeah, but on Monday we come on Monday, so it's gonna be the 16th.
Right. So it would be the 16th. That's unfortunate actually because I'm going to the CPM 22 show at Audio Club on the 22nd, I believe.
Hmm.
I haven't quite managed to get my tickets yet, but I am working on it. And that is going to be a good show. 20 years of CPM 22. And if you want to learn more about CPM 22, tune in next time.
Cool, 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 cool. All right. Um, Boa noite, Anthony McGrew. We're gonna have a show that Anthony McGrew is gonna love, and actually, I might invite him on with my friend Rod. Rod's been on the podcast before. He might. Oh no, Renee actually is our first repeat on the podcast, but Rod is up on my list of repeat people. And you've never met Rod, have you, Peter?
No, I don't think so.
Oh my goodness! Just hold on to your seats. That's all I can say. Rod is something else. Yes.
I'm all
Very
about
fun guy. Very fun guy. Um, so that's it, guys. Have a good night. Thank you for hanging with us tonight. It's late, and tomorrow I got a long day. I got to deal with the kiddies tomorrow. We're back to
that.
hell.
I have to get up at noon tomorrow, so I'm not all
Yeah, I'm not
that
getting up
worried.
super late, but still, the problem is the day is long. It's like I don't get up early, but it's like after 10 p.m. It's like just back to back to back to back until
Yeah.
like 9 p.m. And I'm gonna be like, good lord, it's one of those days. So, fortunately, but I do get to sleep in a little bit, so it's not that bad. Okie dokie, where's my outro music? Play this shit. There it is. Well, I want to thank everybody for listening to the Brazil Expat Journal, the BJ you can trust. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Hit the little bell so that you get notifications for when we're on. If you happen to be an X-Files fan, we will be back on Thursday. We took a little break from that and we'll be talking the X-Files. And we're getting up to the movie soon, so then we'll be able to talk about the X-Files
I
movie.
know, I'll have to watch it again.
Yes, and one of these days you may see a Stanley Kubrick marathon, best Stanley Kubrick movies podcast. One of these days you might see an Aliens podcast pop up on the channel. One of these days you might get a upload of the Star Trek movies podcast after I edited out all. Yeah, we got really drunk that night. It was like embarrassingly drunk. So I cut out some of the worst parts. So, just know that that's there. Okay, I ran out of outro music. That means it's time to go. See ya. Adios, people.